1879 through 1881. $229, folks. When was the last time you bought a real uncirculated Morgan dollar for less than 80 bucks? $76 a coin, $229 for the three. 1879 through 1881. Or the complete collection of the first five, 1878 through 1882. 1878, the first year, key date. 1882, taking over the world. 1879S. Hey, that's always a great value when you can find it at the kind of price that we're offering it at. I gotta go, though. I wish I could stay. I gotta tell you, the Morgan dollar deserves so much to be said about it. And you know when they say that a picture is worth 1,000 words? Just remember this one, okay? Remember this collection right here. Now, you could choose just the 1881S for $59, or you could choose the 1879 through 1881, the three coins, for $229, or all five, the 78 through 1882, all from San Francisco, for $449. And the five comes in the box that you see right here. And every coin, whether it be individual or the three, comes in a capsule and a pouch. But if it's quality you're after, I can guarantee it. I want to thank you all for watching this presentation of Morgan Dollars. I want to invite you to stay tuned to Rare Collectibles TV, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks for watching.
What's your favorite coin?
Morgan silver dollars,
Buffalo nickels, American silver eagles,
Lincoln Wheaties,
Walking Liberty half dollars.
Standing Liberty quarters,
Franklin half dollars,
My personal favorite, Ancients.
Kennedy half dollars,
Cameo proof coins.
pandas,
Steel Cent,
Liberty Head, and St. Gaudens double eagles.
Eisenhower dollars,
Some say diamonds are a girl's best friend, but I say it's a gold St. Gaudens.
Peace dollars, coins from the screw press era.
Cap bust halves.
Can't choose? You don't have to. Rick, James, and Jack have all your favorite coins.
And at great collector-friendly prices.
For the best in coin collecting, watch Rick's U.S. Coin Show.
Welcome to Rick's U.S. Coin Show. If you are tuning in to our show for the very first time, you are a most fortunate individual because you are blessed with perfect timing. Because what I have today is a true, I'll call it a Halley's Comet event. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that's taking place as we speak. Because in the year 2021, the U.S. Mint will make United States numismatic history. The United States American Silver Eagle Dollar, a silver dollar series that likely equals the Morgan Dollar series in popularity. And as such, these two series, folks, represent the two most widely collected United States coin series in all of U.S. numismatics. The American Silver Eagle Dollar Series was first struck on November 24th, 1986. That coin design, as we have come to know it, will receive a major redesign on the reverse, while the obverse of the coin will continue on with the classic Walking Liberty design, originally designed by Adolph Weinman and then improved upon, really, by a man, chief engraver John Mercanti. That half-dollar design was first introduced in 1916. Well, that obverse design will continue on. The reverse of the coin, however, with the famous heraldic eagle, again, designed by the last chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, John Mercanti, that will be no more. And this is huge, folks. This is huge. So today, we have a very special guest, a good friend of mine who I've known since the mid-1980s. We first met at a show in Houston. Miles Standish, folks. Now, Miles Standish, he's among the most knowledgeable collectors in all of U.S. numismatics. And that is not an exaggeration. He was the first full-time grader at PCGS. Is that
right.
true, Miles?
That's right.
You were a finalizer at PCGS. Now, a finalizer, folks, he's the man, he's like the final chief judge. They have a team of graders at PCGS and NGC, and a team of graders will review a coin, and then it goes to the finalizer. And the finalizer decides if that grade is correct. And if he decides it's not correct, it goes back and they review it once more. So he had that job, and he was able to grade many of the most important coins in all of U.S. numismatics. Since then, he now works for NGC, and he's written many, many books on the United States coins. He's become a world-famous author. He had a book on the American silver dollars. He received the Numismatic Literary Guild Book of the Year Award for his book on Morgan dollars. And he has written a book on the American Silver Eagle. It's gone through 4 printings.
That's right.
And there's going to be a 5th one.
At some point, very soon.
At some point.
Complete the series.
We're here, folks, to talk about silver dollars because this is a series that Miles knows better than anyone. And in fact, we have a coin on display that Miles was talking to me about, believed to be the very first silver dollar ever struck.
In the United States, the first one.
Dated 1794. You were telling me it was probably struck from silver that came from
Martha Washington's own personal silver set that she donated to the mint to be able to strike the first American silver dollars.
her own silverware set. And this coin that you handled, it's the finest known,
Exactly.
believed to be one of the first examples struck. It's worth at least $10 million.
It sold
today.
in 2013 for $10 million.
That's in 2013, folks. Now, for the collector of today, the American Silver Eagle series offers the kind of opportunity that Morgan dollars offered, say, 40 years ago. There are so many rare dates in the set we have today, because what we have today is the complete heraldic eagle set of American Silver Eagles. Now, this is really big news, this design change. Sasha's got some headlines to show you. That when it was first announced that they were offering a new reverse for the American Silver Eagle in the year 2021. So the year 2020 is the last year of the heraldic eagle reverse. Here you see, new American Gold Silver Eagle reverse is coming in 2021. Headlines. After 35 years, they're changing the reverse design. For the 35th anniversary, new designs will come to the reverse of American Eagle coins. New reverse designs coming in 2021. Now, that obverse design, Miles, originally designed by Adolph Weinman that appeared on the Walking Liberty half dollar in 1916. We actually have a Walking Liberty half dollar to show the viewers. This is the inspiration that John Mercanti used for the obverse of the American Silver Eagle from the original Walking Liberty half by Adolph Weinman. But one of the things you were telling me about is how Mercanti really sharpened the details of the coin as was not possible on the original Walking Liberty halfbacks, you know, when these coins were struck from 1916 to 1947. And here you see, this is a very nice gem example, folks. This is superior for a Walking Liberty half dollar. But as you know, Miles, the skirt detail, the hand detail is really not very sharp on this coin.
Well, understand, because this came out in 1916, and then the Silver Eagle came out in 1986. You know, it was 70 years later that John got to work with the original design of Weinman and enhance it and improve it for under new technology, advancements from 1916. To new advancements of technology to improve it, to increase its sharpness and its boldness and fine detail to make the Silver Eagle obverse. And then on top of it, he did the complete design for the reverse. You know, what's great about John is that he really, truly loves coin design. He's done over 125 coins and medals, and he's also, of course, we have him also exclusively to NGC.
Yeah.
And he is also designing coins the last 5 years for different world mints also.
Yeah.
So he's expanded upon that.
Now, folks, first of all, these are huge coins. It's 1 ounce of silver. It's larger than a Morgan dollar, and a Morgan dollar has, what, about
More than that.
0.77 of an ounce of silver,
Right.
something like that. And there's a Morgan dollar you can see.
The Silver Eagle is America's first ever 1 ounce silver dollar
Right.
coin in its history.
And there's a Morgan, and take a look now, though, at this American Silver Eagle that Sasha has right next to it.
Yeah, even though the Morgan dollar is this big, large, beautiful coin, but if you compare it next to a Silver Eagle,
You look at this coin.
yeah, it just jumps out at you. It's almost on steroids.
Now, from what I understand, we've got a little documentary on this. His model for this design was a famous model by the name of Audrey Munson that he used for the design of this obverse.
And she was really a famous model at the turn of the century.
She was referred to as America's Venus at the time. And you could see this symbolic portrait of her striding forth, her arm outstretched, the American flag draped around the back there. And the detail that you noted, Miles, is look at the hand detail, all the sharpness of the detail that is not available on that original Walking Liberty $50 design.
Well, if you look at it real close, you'll see the fine lines throughout the dress of Miss Liberty. And in Old Glory, the flag, which is draped around Miss Liberty, you'll see the definitions of the stars so much better in the Silver Eagle. And that's what John was trying to enhance.
Right.
To enhance that Americana look.
Yes.
That he really
Yeah.
wanted it to
Yeah.
be rich and updated.
Yeah. Yeah, and then that's the obverse. Now, we've been talking about the Heraldic Eagle reverse. Now, folks, we showed you this first silver dollar, struck in 1794. That's referred to, that eagle there is referred to as the small eagle. And it was kind of scrawny, you know.
It wasn't really balanced on that large size coin.
It didn't look really bold and powerful, you know? So in 1798, the Mint introduced what they refer to as the Heraldic Eagle reverse. And we've got a picture here. We actually have an actual early silver dollar from the late 1790s with that Heraldic Eagle reverse, and we're going to show you that right now. And you take a look at this, and you can see that Heraldic Eagle, that really bold eagle on the reverse. Quite a dramatic reinterpretation of the American eagle.
Yeah, this made it look like a soaring eagle compared to that first design, where it
Made a
really,
statement.
It had it has the real strength now as it improved when this design this design came out.
That was the original starting point for John Mercanti's revision of that Heraldic Eagle. And we take a look at his Heraldic Eagle. So here's the Heraldic Eagle reverse, Miles. Now, there is one notable change that John made in this reverse. In the original Heraldic Eagle reverse, the right talon had the arrows and the left talon had the olive branch.
Exactly. A
John-
little different than the previous
That's
eagle
right.
design we showed.
John reversed that. I think figuring the right talon maybe being the more powerful of the two talons, the olive branch extending that in peace. Perhaps that was the symbolism of that change. That is the Heraldic Eagle reverse. Again, 2020 will be the last year of the American Silver Eagle with this design, folks. What we have today is the complete set with that original Mercanti design. First year of issue, 1986, to the last year of this series, through 2020, folks. Take a look at this set, created by NGC in MS69. Now, this is the perfect grade for this set. An MS69, Miles, is basically a coin that's flawless.
Exactly. This is a fully struck, lustrous coin. Basically, without aid of 5-power magnification, it's virtually flawless.
The highest possible grade, if you're new to numismatics, is MS-70. That's a coin that's flawless under magnification.
Exactly.
Now, folks, here's the thing. Here you have a set that if you look at it with your naked eye, the coins look perfect. If you go up to MS-70, the value of these coins just goes through the roof. And it is really unaffordable to the majority of collectors. So Sasha's got some comps to show you of what these coins have sold for in the past in MS-70 condition. Here's a coin sold in auction 1986. Sold in auction in MS-70 for over $21,000. That's for one coin, $21,000. These are all auction results, folks. Here's a 1989, sold for over $14,000. So you're at $35,000. Here's a 1988, $10,000. This is probably a record, 1991, over $34,000. Here's a 1999, $27,600. Here's another one. $22,000. You get the picture, folks? You could easily spend hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to complete a set in MS-70. You go one grade down to an MS-69. Again, as Miles said, this is a coin that's essentially flawless under normal viewing conditions. The 1990 MS-69, about $350 for that coin, just for the one coin. There's a 93, $1,400. So you're at $1,700 just for those two coins. A 1994, over $400. There's a 96, about $600. So we're around $2,500. There's a 99 for $500. We're around $3,000. There's a 2001 for around $400. There's a couple small sets there that Sasha has that are partial sets, folks. We have the complete set. Here's a set, 1988 to 2006. It's really only about a half a set, 16 coins for over $3,100. Here's another set, 88 to 2006 for about $3,300. One final set, 1988 to 2005, $3,500. We've got the complete 35 coin set today. This is a set we could offer for $34.95 and you'd be getting a really good price. At $29.95, you'd be getting a great price. We have a limited number of complete sets, all 35 coins for about $74 a coin, $2,595. We could easily price this set $500 higher and we'd sell them. But it's based on our cost. We want to, when we get a good opportunity, a great opportunity, the key to our success here on Rick's U.S. Coin Show is to pass our good fortune on to you. And that's what we're doing with this set. This is what's so important. There's going to be so many new collectors coming into the market for these new 2021 ASEs. And they're going to want to get those earlier dates. And they're going to find out that those earlier dates are so difficult to get in high grade.
Absolutely, Rick. And what's going to happen, I believe, now that the set's completed of the original design, which, I feel pretty honored to be a part of the last offering of the complete sets. It's finally happened.
Yeah.
We finally had our 35-year run of this design, and now the change is going to happen for 2021. But what's going to happen is that all the people that have already bought sets, they can continue on going forward with the new reverse design. But the introduction to the millions of people by the global network of the internet and the mint marketing of the new design is going to attract a whole crowd of new collectors.
Yeah, it's going to be massive.
Moving forward.
Yeah.
And they're going to get the notion that they got to have the original sets as well. And when you start getting from 1986 to, say, 2000, the availability of original mint boxes of fresh coins, and then to be able to find quality coins that meet the criteria at NGC for 69 or better is going to be very difficult, and the pressure on the demand will be there.
Right.
And it'll be that much harder for people to obtain the back dates.
Yeah.
And that's why it's great to get a complete set.
Yeah, there's about I would say, about 20 key dates in this 35-coin set, those first 20 years.
Absolutely.
I've-
And we never knew that that would happen.
Yeah.
When this series started.
Exactly.
When this series started in 1986, we had no idea there'd be a 35-year run.
Yeah, and they weren't collected as, they were considered bullion coins. They came in rolls like this, and they were just thrown into rolls, and they received bag marks. They weren't given any kind of special handling.
No, this was to deplete the government stockpile of silver.
Right,
Of
right.
over 100,000 ounces of government stockpile of silver. And then what happened? The Silver Eagle program became so popular, they've made over 500 million coins that are in buyers' hands today, and they're still making them every Monday and releasing them.
That's a great point. It was all American, U.S. Silver, and these coins were struck for United States silver. But Sasha, I'll just show you a close-up of a couple of these, and just from the normal handling, you can see a spot there, but you can see the marks in the field behind Liberty there, and that's your typical quality. The coins have abrasions because they come from the mint in these rolls. They were just dumped into the rolls. They weren't individually handled like proof coins and a lot of modern mint products. And
These are really these are the rejects that we don't put in NGC holders for 69. These are the coins. That's why you have to go through a lot of coins to find just the ones that are right to meet the criteria for 69.
And there you can see obvious bag marks again in God We Trust. And again, these coins are so elusive in high-grade condition. And we've got the coins for only $74.14 a coin. And this includes all the key dates. Now, the other thing, Miles, you were talking to me about what makes a lot of these dates, especially in the 1990s, so difficult to come by in high grade. We were talking about spotting.
There are some procedures somewhere along the line after 1989. They were using some product to make sure that the planchets would go through the minting process and slide through it easier and not get the equipment jammed up, which later caused a lot of this heavy spotting that does show up on Silver Eagles, the coins we end up rejecting for these coins that get graded. So a lot of that happened especially between 90 and, well, all the way up to 99, but 90 to 96 is really heavy. Of coins that have this problem, and I've been through hundreds and hundreds of boxes to got a feeling of a lot of the problems that happen. And it doesn't, though it can happen in 1986, the first year of issue. It's just not as prevalent.
I remember I had a monster box of 1993s, and almost every one had these white spots, and the white spots don't come off.
No.
They're struck into the coin. Here's one that, in fact, this is one that's dated 2005. You can see the spotting in the field there if we zoom in.
Yeah, right through there, Miss Liberty's dress, through In God We Trust.
Yeah, you look at all the spotting on that coin.
Right there at 3 o'clock.
That's a major, major problem on those early American Silver Eagles. So, again, what we have to really stress, the really tough dates in this set are going to be the 1986 through the early 2000s to get in this MS69 condition without the bag marks, without the spots. Again, folks, you have to understand, when these first came out, they weren't really collected as collector coins. They were bullion coins. And then as we got several years into the series, the collectors were saying, I want to really collect the best possible set of these. And they really got hot in the 1990s, and now it's just exploded in popularity. So you've got this complete set with all these key dates. We're going to have all these collectors. When this new design comes out in 2021, I mean, the market, again, it's right up there as the most popular series in U.S. numismatics, along with the Morgan dollars. There are going to be so many new collectors.
It'll be some of the biggest news story from the U.S. Mint in 2021, the reverse designs of their Eagle program in both silver and gold. And when this happens, so many eyeballs in the world are going to see this to gain the popularity of new people who want to start collecting, and then those that are interested either going back and buying a complete set or going back and buying all the individual years over time.
It's going to be the numismatic event of the year.
Right.
It really will. And so to be able to get this set now, folks, this is the kind of set that you see what other dealers are selling partial sets for, with only half the coins in this set for $3,500. But we have this set, the complete set, folks, for only $2,595. You know, this is a set, you know, Miles, that, you know, I can't recommend more highly to the collector of today to get this 35 coin set. Again, 1 ounce of silver in each of these coins. I mean, the silver value alone, you know, now is getting quite expensive. I mean,
And the excitement of getting this in the mail, 35 coins.
yeah, it's an amazing set.
I challenge anyone who gets a package in the mail with a complete set of Silver Eagles to let me know that that didn't excite them when they opened up the box.
Yeah, it comes in a custom box.
35 Silver
coins.
Eagles, 1 year of every coin struck.
The complete set with the heraldic eagle reverse. And this is what we have now. We've got a lot of people calling in on this. There's so much more to say about this coin. We just have to stress again the fact that if you just tuned in, that what makes this set so important is that those first 20 years of the series, the coins were not given any kind of special handling. They were thrown into rolls. Many of them had bag marks. The quality control, as Miles said, from the mint, so many of the coins were spotted. We showed you a typical spotted example of an American Silver Eagle. To get one of these in MS-69 from these early years is so difficult. And to be able to offer the entire set for only $74 a coin, it's just a really, really special opportunity. Miles, even if a collector went through all the trouble to try and find an MS-69,
Right.
they submit it to NGC. Here's their typical cost. The grading fee is $20. There's a $10 handling fee. NGC ships everything back, registered mail.
That's right.
It's $24. So right there, your service fees are $54. It doesn't include the cost of the coin. With that, you have to shipping it to NGC, so your cost is going to be over $100 when you get done. And the chances of getting an MS-69, again, an MS-69, folks, is essentially a coin that's flawless to the eye. I mean, the tiniest little tick drops it into an MS-68 or 67 grade.
Right, and those are the coins that we have to go through to find the coins that meet 69 standards for NGC for us to encapsulate those coins.
Exactly. So, you know, in closing, this is the perfect set, perfect price point. If you go up a grade to that MS-70 grade, that flawless MS-70 grade, you're talking about a set in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Here you have a set that's really magnificent with a lot of really rare key dates that are really undervalued, especially as we get into the year 2021 and beyond, when they have the new reverse and those millions of new collectors who are going to want to collect the entire set. And they're going to find that those early key dates are the real stoppers. And that's when their value is going to really escalate, folks. So we're encouraging, if you can get a set, get one today. It's only $2,595. Get more than one if you can swing more than one. If you got 3 kids, get one for each of your kids. Or get one for each of your grandkids. It's really...
Anyone that ends up with one of these sets and this package is all in the box, all 35 coins, is going to be very, very pleased. Tremendous value and a great set to collect.
Miles and I are all in on this, folks. We're all in on this. It's also available on the 2-payment option. The 2-payment option means if you can't swing the entire $25.95 today, all you have to do is put half down of $1,297.50, and we'll hold one of these sets for you. And you pay the balance in 30 days, and we'll ship the set out to you. It's that easy. It's that easy. You won't find a deal like this anywhere else, folks. This complete set. Miles, this is an absolute thrill. You know, this is historic. This is the last of the John Mercanti designed reverse heraldic eagle American Silver Eagles, folks. This is a really extraordinary set, and it's really a thrill, a privilege to be able to offer it for this kind of price. You know, $74 a coin for these 35 coin American Silver Eagles with all these rare key dates. They are so undervalued at the price we have met for you today. I hope you can take advantage of it and get yourself at least one. At least one.
You know, Rick, when we met in 1982, we were enthusiasts for Morgan dollars.
Right? Yeah.
Uncirculated, high grade, proof likes,
yeah.
deep mirror proof likes. 1982, if I had looked at you and said, Rick, in 4 more years,
Yeah.
the U.S. Mint is going to come out with a all silver dollar, and it's going to become more important and more collected than any silver dollar the U.S. had ever made.
Possible.
And you probably would have looked at me and shook your head and thought, why would I ever talk to that kid again?
They weren't striking silver coins anymore.
It was 4 years away.
Yeah,
If I'd have
yeah,
predicted that to you,
Exactly.
I think you would have said I
Exactly.
needed my head examined.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing how
Yeah.
Silver Eagles, that happened.
It is such a great opportunity for the collector of today to collect actual silver dollars, because there's a lot of dollars, you know, they have dollars made that they call silver dollars, but they're not silver.
Right.
You know, these are 100% silver dollars, folks.
And you know what happened, and that is when they came out in '86, we had no idea that 35 years would eclipse.
Yeah.
That there would be set building that would happen.
Yeah.
Even in '87 and '88 and '89, you know, they'd have been a nice, cute little group 4-coin set.
Yeah.
But it wasn't till it grew into the middle '90s to the millennium, and then it became a 35-coin set,
Yeah.
not just a couple of first-year issues
Yeah.
or in the middle '80s, you know, 3 or 4 coins. But now it grew into this amazing set building established to someone's collection, a 35-coin set.
40 years from now, this will be a 75-coin set.
Right.
Because it's still going to be around 40 years from now. I'm almost can guarantee that. And it's this set, though, these first 35 with the heraldic eagle, that's going to be the big set with the really rare dates. Folks, thank you for watching. Please stay tuned. We've got another great presentation coming right up. Here on Rick's U.S. Coin Show, Jack, James, and I take great pride in providing you, our viewers, with relevant coin information and special numismatic history. We enjoy creating short documentaries on important people in the coin community, like John Mercanti, Edmund Moy, and Miles Standish. We have also produced film shorts on historical numismatic landmarks, like the Granite Lady in San Francisco, the famed Carson City Mint in Nevada, and Sutter's Mill, home of the California Gold Rush. To watch all these great documentaries and learn more about the wonderful world of numismatics, go to the Rare Collectibles TV YouTube page. Type Rare Collectibles TV in the search bar and click on the pic of Jack and me. You can watch many numismatic videos, including interviews, documentaries, coin trivia, the adventures of Rick and Jack, and much more. And make sure you click the subscribe button in the top right corner so that you'll be notified every time a new video is posted. Where else can you get so much numismatic info and fun all in one place? So go to the Rare Collectibles TV page on YouTube and join the hundreds of subscribers already enjoying our YouTube videos. Thanks for watching Rick's U.S. Coin Show.
I'm going to share with you a coin that is arguably the most important American silver eagle ever struck by the U.S. Mint. Now, do I say this because it's the final year to feature artist John Mercanti's exquisite heraldic eagle, which has graced the reverse of this coin since the beginning of the series in 1986? Well, that is pretty meaningful, but I'm not sure that would make it the most important. Is it because it has a minuscule mintage of just 240,000 coins, making it the second lowest mintage of the entire bullion series? That's only part of the story. The reason that this is possibly the most significant silver eagle in the entire series is because of the historical circumstances that caused this coin to even exist. Much like the 1943 steel Lincoln cent struck during World War II, the 2020 Philadelphia issue Silver Eagle was struck because of a critical national emergency. You see, under normal circumstances, the Mint State bullion issue American Silver Eagle is struck at the West Point Mint. But due to health and safety issues surrounding the worldwide coronavirus pandemic, a small quantity of Silver Eagles were struck at the Philadelphia Mint in an effort to meet the demand for these immensely popular coins. Let me read to you the official release from the U.S. Mint explaining the reason these coins were struck and how we were able to determine their ever-important pedigree as part of this emergency production. In light of the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, the United States Mint has temporarily reduced production in its facilities in order to reduce the risk of employee exposure to COVID-19. The health and safety of the Mint workforce remains our highest priority. Typically, American Eagle silver bullion coins are minted at the Mint's West Point facility. However, due to the reduced production at the West Point facility amid the coronavirus pandemic, from April 8th until April 20th, 2020, the United States Mint at Philadelphia produced 240,000 American Eagle silver bullion coins. These 2020 American Eagle silver bullion coins minted in Philadelphia were all packaged manually. The coins were shipped in so-called monster boxes, each of which contains 25 tubes of 20 coins for a total of 500 coins in each box. Monster boxes of 2020 American Eagle silver bullion coins minted in Philadelphia were affixed with a typed label containing the box tracking number. Additionally, box tracking numbers were handwritten directly on the boxes. Box tracking numbers 400,000 through and including 400,479 were used on boxes of coins minted in Philadelphia. The United States Mint does not sell its bullion coins directly to the public. Instead, we distribute our coins through a network of official distributors called authorized purchasers to provide investors the opportunity to acquire precious metal coins at a slight premium to spot market prices. As such, all American Eagle silver bullion coins are, by their very nature, homogeneous. None of these coins bears a mint mark designating the facility where it was produced. The Mint's goal is to ensure that the American Eagle silver bullion coins struck at any of its facilities are identical and indistinguishable from one another. This is huge. This is very interesting. And these coins have become incredibly popular. Now, at West Point, they have actually robotic machinery that puts these coins into the tubes. These tubes that go into the monster box, they have 20 coins. These coins in Philadelphia are manually tubed. Now, what that means is when they strike Silver Eagles in Philadelphia, someone manually has to pick up those coins and stack them and put them into these tubes. Now, what's that mean for the grade of these coins? It means it is much less likely to get a high-grade coin. Humans have to touch these coins. They get fingerprints, they bang together, they rattle around more, So the odds of getting a high-grade coin from this Philadelphia hoard is actually harder to get than the normal coins struck at West Point. That's important too, because as we talk about the grade of these coins, to get a Mint State 69 from this Philadelphia hoard is going to be even harder to achieve than a coin struck in the normal way and packaged in the normal automated way at the West Point Mint. This is a very, very exciting coin. Obviously, the historical impact of the coronavirus affecting this coin in a big way is going to make this a coin that forever is going to be remembered for these historical and trying times that we're going through. And, a lot of coin collecting is just that link to history. We love coins that relate to, certain people or certain times, certain events. Like I mentioned earlier, that 1943 steel Lincoln cent, because of that history there, the importance of it. Or whether it's those coins from the early 20th century, because Roosevelt wanted new coin designs and the artists like St. Gaudens that he worked with to do it. Or coins from colonial times that were struck to, start our fledgling economy on its way. The history of the coins is such an integral part. And for a coin like this, where it is directly affected by current events, that's a big deal. Now, let me show you a couple of things that I talked about here. First off, let's talk about this mintage. Here's a chart of all the Mint State Silver Eagles from 1986, which is the first year of the Silver Eagle series. And you look at these mintages, and you see at the peak years, you've got 47 million, 44 million, above 40 million. And then you'll see, lots of these in the 20, 30 million range. You get down to the bottom of the list, even the low mintages are around 5 million. We get down here, you see a few that are under 5 million, not many. These are the tough years. 96 is a notoriously rare coin, very hard coin to get. Mint State 69 though, very tough coin. It's a coin that is notorious for spots and things that prevent it from being found in high grade. Then we have our coin here, the 2020 P. And you see that P in parentheses, and that's because as the Mint stated in their official press release, that letter I read, the bullion issue coin is produced without a mint mark. They want these coins to all be interchangeable. So that P is in parentheses, or it's what we'd call like an implied mint mark, implied Philadelphia mint mark, meaning the coins don't have a mint mark on it, but we know they were struck in Philadelphia because of the pedigree. And we're able to know that only because, as the Mint mentioned in its letter, there was a small amount of boxes of coins with serial numbers that can be attributed back to Philadelphia. So when the Mint releases these coins, they release them, as they said, in a green monster box, which looks like this. This one isn't from this year, so the serial number does not match what I talked about, but this is what they are. 500 coins in a box. They're all in tubes like this. Here's a partial tube. Again, these aren't from this year. I'm just wanting to show you what it looks like. 20 coins per tube. And then these tubes are in this box, 25 tubes per box. And this is how the Mint distributes the regular issue Silver Eagle, which the Mint calls the bullion issue. I'd call it either the Mint State or just the kind of regular issue Silver Eagle. You can see here a handwritten serial number. This is, again, from a different year. This is a West Point box. This is not a Philadelphia box. And then stickers here also with serial numbers. So when these boxes are released from the Mint this year, if you get a box with a serial number in that range that the Mint mentions in the letter, you know that it comes from Philadelphia. But once you open the box, if the coins don't have, a mint mark, how do you know they're pedigreed to that? Well, we are working with NGC, who does a great job, obviously, at grading and authenticating coins and collectibles. What happens is when a dealer gets a box that has the proper serial numbers, between that 400,000 and 400,479, you can send it to NGC and they will authenticate it. They will make sure the box has not been tampered with, the box has not been opened, the serial numbers are legitimate, nothing's been changed or altered. Once they confirm the box is truly a box from the Philadelphia Mint, only then under their extremely tight security, will they open the box and then grade the coins, and then on the holder they put that implied P mint mark, and in this case they also mention that is from the emergency production. So we're able to pedigree these coins, and this is much like the GSA hoard of Morgan dollars that we all treasure. It's a special pedigree from the mint, and it's really important as collectors. And like I said, the pedigree is so important on this because of its historical place in history here, the historical impact that led to these coins being produced under these emergency conditions. So we have these coins here today. Like I said, mintage, one of the lowest there is. I want to show you in comparison to just the other coins for this year, how tiny, tiny, tiny of a percentage of the coins came from Philadelphia. Here's our 2020 regular issue, bullion issue, American Silver Eagles. Total mintage so far, this is just through June, the first half of the year. I'm using the data that I can get available today. First half of the year, first 6 months, 12,596,500 coins released by the U.S. Mint. The total amount of that 12.5 million coins struck at Philadelphia, only 240,000. That's less than 2% of the coins came from Philadelphia. And I'm sure not even all of them will be able to get this pedigree. I'm sure there's people who bought boxes of these coins, opened them up, didn't realize that it was something special, and that pedigree is gone forever. So the amount of coins that could even be attributed and designated with that pedigree is going to be even smaller than 2%. Now keep in mind, that's 2% so far for the year. There's no plans of making any more at Philadelphia. So as the mintage for the year increases, that percentage just becomes more important, more tiny of a slice of the total production of Silver Eagles for 2020. If you look at my projection, I'm saying based on the first 6 months of the year, probably about 25 million coins struck. That means less than 1% of the coins struck for this year come from this Philadelphia emergency production. It's a tiny, tiny amount. This is the hottest coin. They're so hard to get a hold of. They're so hard to keep in stock. The prices have been rising dramatically. Here's a couple of examples in Mint State 70. $745 for this one. Again, $750. These coins are just so hard to get. But the coins I have here right now, and I think this is the play right now, is the Mint State 69. And I'll tell you why I love the Mint State 69 for this particular coin. I think it's a great opportunity to take advantage of the price before, while these are still available. You're going to be amazed at what I can offer these to you with the kind of demand for these coins. I don't know how long I'll be able to keep these coins in stock, and I don't know if I'll be able to go out and find them again and replace them and be able to sell them like this again. But these coins are just in such high demand, and like I said, the MS69 price, there's such a spread between the 70 and the 69. And for you, those of you who are maybe new to collecting, when we grade coins, we use a 70-point scale. 70 is absolutely flawless, even under magnification. You look under 5 times, 10 times power magnification, flawless coins. 69 grade is so close to that with the naked eye, this is a coin that appears flawless. Only under high magnification are you going to find any imperfections in this coin. So this is a beautiful, beautiful, virtually perfect coin. And you can get this for a fraction of the price of a Mint State 70 coin right now. I have some comps here in 69 grade. Here's one, $192.50. Here's another one, $199. $196. Again, people selling these coins, of course. Here's one for $335. And you can see these are coins that are selling. 4 sold, you see here. They have a couple left in stock, but people are this is not just somebody putting up some moon price and hoping somebody will pay it. There are coins actually selling for these prices. $335. Somebody with a ton of positive feedback, 99.5% positive feedback, It's the same coin we have, emergency production, 2020 with that implied P, that pedigree to the Philadelphia Mint. This is just a plain brown label. We have coins here in our exclusive Ronald Reagan label. It has that artwork designed by John Mercanti, who's the gentleman who designed the reverse of this coin. It's the last year this coin is going to have that Mercanti reverse, so this is an important coin. You know, even before we had the pedigree on it, this is a great coin. But now that we have this added historical issue coin, ours have the special exclusive label you can't get anywhere else. On top of it, ours are certified from the first day of issue. These are coins that NGC has guaranteed were released by the Mint on the very first day that the Mint released this coin. They're in mint state 69, like I said, virtually flawless, flawless to the naked eye, mint state 69, beautiful coins, coins you see selling $200, $335. Right now, I have these coins for less than $100, $99.95. You're getting a coin that I would argue is the most important historical coin in the entire American Silver Eagle series, the most popular series in coin collecting. This is a coin that has so much demand that collectors are lining up for. You know, around the country, there are so many collectors of this series of coins. This is our generation's Morgan dollar. This is a coin that will, you know, live on forever in the hearts and minds of collectors. It's such a beautiful coin. You have that, first of all, I mean, it's 1 ounce of silver. It's a huge coin. You have that Walking Liberty design, originally designed by Adolph Wyman. First used on a coin, 1916, on the Walking Liberty $50. But now when you move that from a $50 coin that's about 1/3 of an ounce of silver, up into a 1 ounce Silver Eagle, there's just so much more room for that. It's just such a bigger canvas to really, really, you know, just demonstrate that artwork as Wyman intended. Then you have that reverse with that heraldic eagle, you know, much like the presidential seal. That eagle design with those outstretched wings and the shield and the banner, E Pluribus Unum, you know, that design by John Mercanti, such a classic design. This is the final year to feature this design. It is just a beautiful, stunning coin. These are just exquisite coins. A coin that happens to be graded in a mint state 69, a virtually flawless, a coin that is flawless to the naked eye. But from this particular issue, the final year with that reverse, the coin that was struck in a different mint in Philadelphia, the original mint, you know, in the, you know, where they first struck coins in 1793. They struck Silver Eagles, only 240,000 of them in 2020 because of an emergency worldwide pandemic that is just turning our world upside down. And this coin is just such an important historical coin. From the first day of issue, for less than $100 is just an opportunity that is here today, but I don't know how long this opportunity will be here. It's so hard just to get these boxes pedigreed, especially, I mean, the first day of issue has come and gone. So once we go through the allotment that we've received, you know, I can't get first day of issue anymore. It is just a coin that just has all of those things we look for as collectors. Obviously a beautiful coin, obviously a high grade coin, obviously a great value, less than $100, and from the most popular series in all coin collecting. And this is just, you know, one of those moments in time where we have a coin that is kind of the perfect storm of all those attributes, a coin that is such a piece of our history here. I'm just kind of overwhelmed by this coin. There's just so much going on here. I think I remembered everything because it's kind of mind-boggling the importance of this coin and how many different features there are. But most importantly here, I think, is just the history of this coin. The moment in time that these coins were struck, why they were struck, just makes it so important. And like I said, I think this is the most important coin in the Silver Eagle series. If you're a Silver Eagle collector, or if you're just if you collect any coins or if you collect anything, or you know what, even if you don't collect coins, if you're an American and you're living today and you're a student of history, this coin is just so important. I hope you're able to add one to your collection. And thank you so much for joining me here. I'm Jack McNamara, and you're watching Rare Collectibles TV.
I'm here at Sutter's Mill, which was the perfect location for a sawmill on the American Fork River. It was a day like today with the rain coming down back on January 24th of 1848 when James Marshall discovered gold right here at Sutter's Mill, setting off the California Gold Rush and changing numismatic history forever. The gold was initially being sent back to the East Coast to be minted into coins in Philadelphia and New Orleans. There was so much gold here, they needed a place to mint coins out of all this gold out here. And in 1854, the San Francisco Mint was established to strike all those beautiful S-Mint gold coins we know today. You're watching Rick's US Coin Show on Rare Collectibles TV.
Welcome back to Rick's U.S. Coin Show. This is a momentous occasion, folks. This is spectacular. I have some double eagles for you today. The good news and bad news about this particular little presentation. The good news is these are the rarest double eagles in the condition I have them in for under $5,000 that I've ever been able to offer on Rick's U.S. Coin Show. I mean, these coins are extraordinary. It's a great, great date. It's spectacular. That's the good news. The bad news is because they are so rare, I have a very limited quantity. We've talked about the Great European Bank Hoard before. Well, this is the mini Great European Bank Hoard because I have fewer than 20 examples in this condition. The coins I have for you today, folks, 1894 San Francisco minted Liberty Double Eagles in the extraordinary grade of MS-62. This is a fabulous, fabulous opportunity. We've been offering some of the rarest gold double eagles now for the last 6-7 years. Never have we been able to offer this rare date in the condition you see it in. Now, I've got two coins side by side there, so you can see the difference between an MS-60 and an MS-62. Now, for those of you who are new to collecting, coins are graded on a 70-point scale. Anything below 60 is considered a circulated coin. In other words, it was used for commerce. Anything a 60 or higher was a coin that was never used in commerce. The coins were struck at the mint, they were dumped into bins, they went through coin counting machines and dumped into bags, and from there they went to banks around the country, but they never made it out of the bank vault. They were used, they just resided in bags for decades, never used in circulation. Now, all double eagles have bag marks, and there you see an MS-60, a typical uncirculated Liberty double eagle in MS-60 condition. You have to understand, folks, the Liberty double eagle is the largest gold coin ever struck for commerce by the U.S. Mint. It's about 10% smaller in diameter than a Morgan dollar, but it's about 25% heavier than a Morgan dollar. It's a very heavy coin. Gold is a very soft metal. So even though this coin is uncirculated, this is the typical condition you see these in, with numerous abrasions over the cheek and in the fields of the coin. And that 1888 MS-60, that's extraordinary. That's an extraordinary grade for that coin. I would love to have even 5 of those examples. Here's how they would typically appear as they came out of the mint, with deep gouges. Look at the deep gouge, a horizontal gouge through Liberty's upper cheekbone. This coin is not even gradable, even though it's hardly seen any circulation because of the abrasion with other coins, other double eagles. It's not even a gradable coin because of the deep damage to the surfaces. Here's one more example. So typical of most of your Liberty double eagles. Look at the deep cut in Liberty's cheek there. When you get that kind of damage, the coins are not even gradable, but this is typical quality. But now take a look at these 1894 S's in MS62. This is breathtaking. Folks, look at this coin. So few abrasions. It's like it was struck yesterday. I've never handled a group of 1894 S's like I have for you today. I mean, it is really a miracle that a Liberty double eagle of this early vintage could survive in the condition you see them in. And the best part of all is the price. And there, S, San Francisco Mint mark, you see at the bottom of the eagle tail feathers, MS62. Now, the Smithsonian has the finest collection of United States coins in the world. The 1894 S in the Smithsonian, folks, is an AU55. So it's lightly circulated. And that's a very high grade. In fact, the single most valuable United States coin in existence is in the Smithsonian. It also is a double eagle. It happens to be in 1849. Now, this is very instructive because we have a picture of that 1849 for you here today. This coin, because it was the first year that the double eagles were ever struck, 1849, there's this only one surviving example. It's valued, some people put it in the tens of millions of dollars. It could be in the hundreds of millions of dollars. It's really, truly priceless. It will forever reside in the Smithsonian. But what is most instructive is that here you have one of only two examples originally struck. They only struck two 1849 double eagles. And you look at this coin, and even though it was one of only two struck, if you look in the obverse field, below Liberty's chin, you'll see three prominent reading marks, very deep gouges in the surface of the coin, even though only two was struck. My belief is that this example you're looking at was the first struck, ejected from the die and fell into the bin. The obverse of the coin was facing up. The second example that was then struck was then ejected, and the rim of that second coin hit right there at 8 o'clock in the obverse field, and that's what created those reading marks. And so even though only two were struck, here you had a coin with those really serious deep gouges in the surface of the coin. Now imagine these 1894 S's. They were struck, dumped into bins. They went through coin counting machines. They were thrown into bags of up to 500 coins in a bag. They came in bags like this from the San Francisco Mint. How could it survive in the condition you see these in today? Well, the fact is very few survived. MS62, you take a look at one of these again. This is truly extraordinary. And the best part, folks, is that you've got this really rare date that I essentially have at a common date price. Okay, good. My price to you is not based on what the market will bear. It's based on my cost. This is a coin that we could have at $5,900, and you'd be getting a great, great value, a once-in-a-lifetime value. Again, we've been specializing in the finest United States gold double eagles now for the past almost 7 years. We've never had 1894 S's like this. To give you an idea of how rare this coin is, take a look at this chart of some of the double eagles we've offered over the years. It's not a complete chart, but it lists some of the highlights from some of the most common double eagles we've offered in uncirculated mint state condition to some of the rarest that we've offered in uncirculated mint state condition. And you can see in the St. Gaudens series, the most common would be the 24P. PCGS has graded about 44,000 examples. The most common Liberty is the 1904P, where there have been a total of about 200,000 certified, of which 64,000 were in MS62 condition, 5,600 in MS65 condition, And then at the very bottom, you look at the 1894S. Total certified in all grades. Only 5,802 coins in all grades, folks. And of those, only 1,978 are MS62 quality. Now, when I say we have this really rare date at a common date price, I've got some prices for 1904 Liberty Double Eagles in MS62 condition offered by other dealers, sold in auction. There's a 1904 MS62 that's sold in auction for almost $3,900. That's what it's sold in auction for. There's one, 1904 MS62 for $5,400. There's one where a dealer is asking $7,000. Again, this is a dealer with 100% positive feedback. Okay, this is not a fly-by-night dealer with 100% positive feedback, the most common date in the series. I have these coins available now, folks. Again, we have fewer than 20 examples. Call in now. This is not based on what the market will bear. It's based on my cost. We bought this small group. We cherry-picked the finest examples from the great European bank hoard. There was not a bag quantity of the coins. There were fewer than 100 coins. We cherry-picked the finest examples, of which fewer than 20 graded MS62. I'm able to offer these coins today while we have them. They're not $59.95. $49.95 would be a fabulous price. I have a 3-coin limit on these, folks, a 3-coin limit. I have them based on my cost, $3,995 a coin, when gold is almost $2,000 an ounce. Here's this rare date for only $39.95, and if you can't swing the entire $39.95, we have our 2-payment option. So all you have to do is put half down today of $1,997.50, and we will hold one of these extraordinary rarities for you and pay the balance in 30 days. Think about that. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, an 1894S. You know, most of the gold double eagles that are coming out of the great European bank hoard, folks, are later dates, coins that were struck in the 1900s. When you see examples from the 1890s in mint state condition, they're almost all in the late 1890s. When we go back to our chart, you'll see some of the dates that we had in the past that were from the late 1890s. For example, that 1899P, where they've graded about 26,000 in mint state, about 10,000 in MS62. 1895P, a little bit earlier date, a bit rare coin. 97P, a little bit rarer than the 95P. 97S, you get down there, you have about 12,000 graded in mint state, of which only 4,700 were in MS62. But then when you get down to that early date, that 94S, when you get down into the early 1890s, you rarely find these coins in mint state condition. They're almost always circulated. And then to get it in MS62, again, we've never been able to offer these like this before in MS62 condition. Now, here's the part that really makes no sense. Now, if you have any questions at all about what a great opportunity this is, I'd like you to take a look at this comparison chart of some rare Morgan dollars from the same era as this 1894S Liberty Double Eagle. There you've got the 1893S Morgan dollar. PCGS has only certified about 7,000 examples in all grades. It's really interesting how the San Francisco Mint issues of the Morgan dollars and the Liberty Double Eagles are all extremely rare. When you're talking about the issues from 1892 through 1896, the S-Mint Morgans and Liberty Double Eagles are really, really rare coins. And in the Morgan dollar series, the rarest coin of all in any kind of condition is the 1893S. It's the king of the Morgan dollar series. we've got some comparable prices to give you an idea of what 1893S Morgan dollars go for. Here's one. It's in AU condition. It's been cleaned. It's been cleaned. In other words, it's not even gradable. Somebody's using an abrasive on it, so it's been cleaned. And it's a $40,000 coin. Here's one that hasn't been cleaned. It's a nice AU58, very lightly circulated, but it's not a Mint State 60 even. It's almost uncirculated, and it's over $100,000. This is a dealer with 100% positive feedback. This is a real world price. This is what they go for. And then if you want one that's just a filler, I mean, the worst possible condition, here's one heavily circulated, scratched, and it's $8,500. You can't get much worse condition than that, and it's still an $8,500 coin. And here we have an 1894S, even harder to find than the 93S Morgan. And it's a Liberty Double Eagle. Gold value alone, again, it has almost an ounce of gold, almost $2,000 just in the gold value. And it's this rare date, and it's a Mint State 62, finer than the Smithsonian specimen. And I'm offering it for only $3,995. We have people calling in on this. Again, this is going to be a very short presentation. I'm going to wrap it up in just about 1 or 2 more minutes because this, again, very limited quantities. These are coins that were cherry-picked from a small bag from the great European bank hoard. They are absolutely spectacular specimens. Most of the coins that came out of those small bags are graded very low, MS60, MS61. There were some AUs in there. There were a handful that were graded MS62. We acquired those from those bags, and we have them today. We got a great deal on these. We're passing our good fortune on to you. Again, the key to our success is that we do not price these coins based on what the market will bear. These are coins we could price at $59.95, and that would be a very, very fair price. $49.95, they'd be a great price. $44.95, it would be a deal of a lifetime, but it wouldn't be based strictly on our cost. I've got them today, again, $3,995 a coin, and it's again available on the 2 payment option. Just put half down today of $1,997.50 and the balance in 30 days. There is a 3 coin limit on this particular group of 1894S Liberty Double Eagles. We have fewer than 20 examples. I hope you can take advantage of this. To get an early Liberty Double Eagle from the 1890s and a 94S in this condition, at this kind of price, really, this is what our show is all about. This is why I always tell you to keep tuning into Rick's U.S. Coin Show, because you never know what we'll come up with next. Thanks for watching.
Some of my favorite and most interesting coins I've ever come across in my numismatic career are colonial and early American coins. You know, these are coins that I just am really passionate about. I love these coins. You know, I brought today just a small group of some books from my personal library on colonial coins. It's an area I collect and I'm fascinated with, and I love researching. You know, some of these books here, this is The Early Coins of America by Sylvester Crosby. This is one of the first books published in the United States on coins. This originally published 1875. This edition, I think, is from the 1960s. I've got books here on copper coins of Vermont, Fujio cents, some of these coins we're going to talk about today. Here I have some great books. So here's the Silver Coins of Massachusetts. You've got a beautiful pine tree shilling on the cover. And this is a book that actually I'm thanked in this book when Christopher Salmon was writing this and publishing it. I worked at Stax in New York. He came and I was able to help him with some information and photographs and things like that. So I'm actually credited in that book. And here's Whitman's Colonial and Early American Coins. This is written by the famous numismatist Q. David Bowers, who founded many auction houses, and Stax that I worked for eventually merged with his company Bowers, and today Stax Bowers. I'm actually thanked in this book too. I did some of the valuations and pricing research for some of the coins in this book. It's a great book. And as you see here, like that last book on Massachusetts silver coins, on the cover here we have a beautiful pine tree shilling, which is one of the coins we have available today, and I'm going to talk about in a minute. It's one of the most important coins in the history of our nation, and they're just beautiful. And these are coins that were struck before the United States gained its independence, and shortly after. Coins from this era are incredibly rare, both low mintages to start with and minuscule populations surviving today. Each and every example could easily find its place in a museum. And today, I'm very lucky to be sharing with you 3 early American colonial era coins. On this show, a lot of the coins we talk about are from the 1800s and 1900s, but these coins we have today are from the 1600s and 1700s. This is an era when our country was just 13 colonies along the East Coast trying to establish themselves before we became the powerful nation that we are today. These coins are fascinating, and not just as numismatic examples, but as historical relics of the early years of our nation. Now, one of the very first coins ever struck in what would become the United States of America was the pine tree shilling of Massachusetts. Virtually all colonial coins were struck from copper, making silver shillings like this extremely rare. In 1650, coinage was in short supply in the Massachusetts Bay Colony, but England was unwilling to send money to the colonies. So, Boston authorities allowed John Hull and Robert Sanderson to establish a mint in the capital in 1652. Hull and Sanderson went through several designs, including coins with willow trees and oak trees, but the final and most famous design featured a pine tree, which was such a major export that it was featured on the flag of the Massachusetts Bay Colony. The pine tree shilling was struck from 1667 to 1682, but like all shillings struck by Massachusetts, it bore the date 1652, which was the year the mint had opened. It's commonly believed that the date was frozen in 1652 to prevent legal ramifications. It would have been against the law for coins to be struck in the colonies after 1660, when King Charles II was restored to the throne. Another interesting note, during the Salem witch trials near the end of the century, it's said that many colonists wore a pine tree shilling as a charm around their neck to ward off witches. Whether you believe in witches or not, only 1,150 examples of these coins have been certified in all grades by NGC and PCGS combined, and less than 400 coins have been certified as very fine. This example is certified VF30, which is at the high end of the VF category, since very fine coins grade from VF20 to VF35. This NGC certified very fine 30 example is available for just $5,995. You can also do that in 2 payments of just $2,997.50. And these coins are just, it's one of my favorite coins. This is a coin, when I was a kid, I'd open the Red Book and I'd stare at the pictures of these and always, dream about having one day. These are so important coins in our history. First off, in the colonial period, most of the circulating coins that were being made for the colonies, in the colonies, were copper coins. It's so unusual to have a silver coin because when we were still colonies, Mother England basically forced the colonies to send any precious metal, silver and gold, back overseas, back to England. So this is a really important coin historically in that sense. And that pine tree design is just so iconic. That was one of the biggest exports from the Massachusetts Bay Colony, and there's stories about the reason for that, which is that they were so tall and long and straight that they were used for the mass of these huge ships that were used in trading goods back and forth overseas to Mother England. So this is as historical as a coin can get from the founding of our nation. Another really interesting coin I have to show you is the Fugio cent. It was authorized by the American Congress, making it the first circulating coin ever struck by the US government. This coin gets its name from the obverse motto Fugio, which is Latin for I fly, which in this case is referring to time flying, since the major motif on this side is a sundial with the sun's rays shining down upon it. It also bears the motto, mind your business, which historians believe was intended literally that those who were carrying these coins should pay attention to their affairs. But some have suggested that this was actually a message directed at the British Empire. The reverse depicts a circle of 13 chain links connected together with the words, "We are one," stressing the unity of the states of our newly founded nation. The Fugio is sometimes known as the Franklin cent, since it was designed by America's first Renaissance man himself, Benjamin Franklin. Now, like all colonials, these are rare coins, with less than 4,000 certified for all the different varieties and grades by both PCGS and NGC combined. Only 243 examples have been graded Mint State 64, like the coin we have here, and only 88 coins are known in better condition. We're offering this coin to you for only $6,995, or 2 payments of just $3,497.50. I could say this about all the coins here today, but one of my favorite all-time coins, the Fugio cent, is a coin when I was kind of getting back into collecting right after college. It was one of those coins that I was just fixated on, and I was looking for an example that fit my budget but wasn't all corroded and damaged and mangled like most of them are. And I found this really nice example. It was very worn. It was like a very VG or maybe fine, but it didn't have any real corrosion or problems. And I remember this was the first coin that I actually bought and sold for a profit. I bought this coin, and then I went with a friend of mine to his local coin store near where he lived, and I showed it to the dealer in that store, and this was like the day after I bought it, and he immediately offered me a profit, and I was like, huh. I didn't sell it that day, but eventually I upgraded for my collection and sold it. But that was my kind of aha, like maybe I can make this something I do full time. So one of the coins, like I said, I love Ben Franklin. I've read his biography, so it's a coin I've always been just fascinated with that connection with Franklin and those kind of mottos that really are so kind of giving a sense of what he was like and his feelings in the founding of our country. So just a great coin. The last coin I have to show you was struck by the Vermont Republic, which was the independent government of Vermont from 1777 to 1791. And yes, this really was a thing. The obverse depicts a plow and the sun rising over the Green Mountains with the words Vermontentium Res Publica, or Republic of Vermont. The reverse borrows its design from the Nova Constellatio coins, which were struck in New York and were circulating at the time, and features a single large star with an eye in the center, surrounded by 13 smaller stars for the 13 states. The reverse also has the motto, and this I love, Stella Quarta Decima, which was Latin for the 14th star, reflecting the desire Vermont had to join the infant U.S. as the 14th state. Struck from copper, this coin has a lovely brown patina with far nicer color and surfaces than are typically encountered on these crudely produced issues. Only 386 1786 Vermontensium coppers have been certified in any grade, with a minuscule 6 examples known in mint state. Extremely fine 40, like the coin we have here, is a very high grade for the issue, with only 43 certified in this grade and a mere 46 coins finer. You can add this coin to your collection for $5,995, or 2 payments of just $2,997.50. Now this coin is another one of my favorites, and this example actually was part of my collection at one time. Again, like the Fujio, this is a coin I fixated on for a while. After I got that Fujio, I just love this coin because it's such an unusual design to have a landscape, a mountain range with a sun rising. I always was just fascinated by that. And I was just searching for one of these. But again, in kind of grades like this, you know, these coins from this era are so unique. So not all XF40 coins or VF40 coins are going to look alike. There's, you know, because they were all made individually, the copper supplies were very crude. Copper is a reactive metal. A lot of the planchets were flawed and corroded even before the coins were struck. So to find a coin with relatively smooth surfaces, a limited amount of planchet flaws, you know, pretty much all of them have flaws. This has a small flaw in the reverse. But to find a coin with smooth surfaces and, you know, minimal amount of flaws is just pretty hard to do. So, you know, even if you're looking at XF40 coins, you might look at 10 coins and they might not look as nice as this one. You know, another issue is the centering. Sometimes almost half the coin is off of the planchet and you can't even see all of the designs, or you can't read the date at all, which are things you really want on a coin like this. So this is an example I love. Like I said, this used to be my personal coin. I sold it to a friend of mine. He recently sold some coins back to us here, and it's available today for just $5,995. Each of these coins is a historic relic in its own right, and any of these is more than worthy of being showcased in a museum. They just embody our country's origins, from a handful of colonies on the East Coast bound to a kingdom across the Atlantic, blossoming into this independent nation trying to grow and prove itself on the world stage. On top of that, these are some of the rarest coins we've ever featured at Rare Collectibles TV, with surviving populations that barely crack the thousands. Between the prestige, the fascinating history, and the jaw-dropping rarity of these coins, these have been some of my favorite examples that we've ever featured here on Rare Collectibles TV. I hope you're able to take advantage of this opportunity to add these incredible coins to your collection.
Jack and Rick here, the coin guys. What we have, Jack, is huge. Huge as in the best we have ever handled, ever seen. This is truly extraordinary. This is something, the kind of opportunity, it reminds me of the Great European Bank Hoard, which featured some incredibly rare United States gold double eagles that we're able to offer our viewers at just below market prices.
Right.
This, folks, is the Great American Silver Dollar Hoard.
Right. And I'm sure people are wondering, but we have.
That's not even a half a bag,
No,
Jack.
this is just a small portion of the dollar hoard that we are sorting through and cherry picking the best coins.
Approximately 50 bags and these were uncirculated mint state silver dollars. This is it's the greatest hoard of uncirculated Morgan and Peace dollars that Jack and I have ever seen or handled in our lifetime. Again, approximately 50 bags, folks. This is one of the great silver dollar hoards in the history of U.S. numismatics. Bags and bags and bags put away for decades and decades and decades of uncirculated. I have to stress that. They're uncirculated. They're never been in circulation.
Exactly. These aren't your typical circulated, low-grade, slick Morgan dollars, Peace dollars.
And we're going to show you the difference in just a few minutes.
Yep.
But there are mixed dates all struck between 1878 to 1935. 1935 was the last year of the Peace Dollar series.
Right, correct.
Jack, I do believe that, you and I, we work so hard, harder than any other coin team, I believe, in the country, to be able to find these most extraordinary, once-in-a-lifetime, rare coin finds for our viewers, you folks watching, and to be able to offer them at the lowest possible collector-friendly prices. As a collector, you and I are both collectors at heart.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
There is nothing more exciting and satisfying than knowing that we have a rare coin find that quite often represents a truly once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for our viewers.
Right. And in all my years, I worked at Stax Rare Coins in New York, the oldest auction house, the numismatic coin company in the country. Never did we have a hoard of brilliant uncirculated silver dollars like this.
Jack, you just mentioned Stax Auction House. Now, folks, you need to know a little bit about Stax Auction House. It's the oldest, most established rare coin auction house in the country, Jack.
Right.
You were a buyer at Stax for almost a decade.
Oh yeah, I worked in the counter there for over 7 years. I saw a lot of coins there. I mean, Stax goes back to the 30s, back to the Great Depression, and they've handled pretty much all of the greatest rarities in U.S. coins. They handled the first U.S. silver dollar from 1794, and it's an amazing
Folks,
coin.
He said the first U.S. silver dollar. He's not talking about the first year silver dollars were struck. 1794 was the first year they were struck. Jack is talking about the first 1794 silver dollar struck, period. The first silver dollar ever struck. Fine, extraordinary condition.
Right, and even a low-grade coin, it's about $100,000 coin. This particular coin, it's a special coin. You just look at it, you can tell this was not made like a normal coin.
Specimen 66. You were able to handle that with Stax Auction House.
When we got deals of silver dollars, and usually it was first off like a cigar box with like 5 coins or something. And once in a while, if we did get lucky enough where someone came in with a bag, a large quantity, those coins were circulated. They weren't uncirculated coins like we have here. They were just worn coins that people saved after they had been used in commerce for decades. So what we have here is just the most thrilling hoard of brilliant uncirculated Morgan and Peace dollars I've ever seen, and probably will ever see. I mean, this is just such a unique opportunity for a coin collector to be able to have this kind of group of coins.
Folks, other dealers, other shows may talk the talk, but Jack and I walk the walk. We have put together some of the finest collections for our clients over the years in Peace dollars, Morgan dollars, gold double eagles. We work so hard at assembling these sets that we have for you today because Jack and I recognize what a truly great buying opportunity cherry picking the finest Morgan and Peace dollars represent for you folks out there watching today. This is a great collector-friendly opportunity. If you've never acquired a rare Peace dollar before, this is the time to start. The set we've assembled, Jack, we're calling it our perfect Peace dollar collection.
Right.
It's the ideal combination, offering exceptional, eye-appealing, extremely scarce, and uncirculated Peace dollars at the lowest possible collector-friendly price. And today, Jack and I have cherry-picked some of the finest examples, selected especially for all our viewers who have never owned a superb, uncirculated silver dollar before. This is that moment in time to start collecting these coins. Because not only have we selected some great, high-quality examples of some great dates, but we have them again at a great, great collector-friendly price.
Right.
Please take a look at the first coin we are offering that Jack and I have selected for you folks in this collection.
The coin we have here is the 1923 Philadelphia P Mint. And you can see these are just beautiful
It is
coins.
stunning. Boy, look.
Look at that luster.
We're going to have a close-up on this. This is a brilliant uncirculated, folks, and that is so important because Morgan and Peace dollars are all about condition rarity. Look at this coin. It looks like it was just struck.
That's
You have-
stunning.
Yeah, you have to understand, folks, these coins were struck. They were dumped into bins. One coin would fall on top of another. They all have a lot of bag marks, almost all of them anyway. From the bin, they go through coin counting machines, and then they're dumped into bags. They're thrown out. They were thrown on the trains across the country.
Right.
To survive an uncirculated condition is so unique.
No, it's a minor miracle.
And usually they're very heavily bag marked.
Right.
Here's some Peace dollars, Jack. I went into a local coin shop that I bought, and most people probably have Peace dollars or Morgan dollars in their home.
Right,
but
right.
like you say, they're almost always circulated. For example, this is happens to be a rare date. In uncirculated condition, this coin is worth thousands and thousands of dollars. 1934. Struck at San Francisco,
But this particular coin is far from uncirculated.
Yes,
This
it's
is like
very heavily circulated, and this is how most of your Peace
very
dollars.
fine or so, maybe.
Yeah. Here's another example. 1926. Now, Jack, though, even if they're uncirculated, they're again usually heavily bag marked.
Right.
Here's, folks. I have your typical uncirculated 1923P. Now, before the show, I cracked this holder around the edges. You can see it's all broken around the edges, so I'll be able to remove the
Yeah.
top.
You have to use a hammer. NGC is pretty. These holders are not easy to open.
You have to whack
have
it
to
really
damage them
hard
pretty
to get
seriously.
it. These are airtight holders. By the way, these holders that you see by NGC, they're state-of-the-art holders. These are the holders that the Smithsonian uses
Right.
for their collection. So anyhow, you can see at the top there, it's graded at mint state. It's a mint state 60. But it's a low, it's a mint state 60. I'm going to take the top now that I broke apart so I could remove it. We could zoom in and you could see the typical bag-marked, uncirculated Peace dollar. And you could see all the marks over the surface of the coin and the face, just myriad marks all over the surface, just through the process of minting the coin.
Right.
They're struck, dumped into bins, go through coin counting machines,
sorted,
thrown into
counted.
bags. Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
And so even though it's never been in circulation, it has a lot of marks on
And
it.
those mint bags are heavy. I mean, you have to imagine this coin is in a bag of 1,000
heavy,
coins.
very heavy.
It's about 55, 60 pounds of coins. And when they're moving these
Yeah.
on trains into banks and stuff, these guys are not tenderly putting them. They're tossing them and dropping them, and they're just banging against each other.
Now, we're talking about condition rarity.
Right.
There are two kinds of rarity when we're talking about rare coins, folks. First of all, there's coins with absolute rarity.
Right.
One of the most famous coins, 1913 Liberty nickel.
Right. Very famous.
They only
coin,
struck
yeah.
5 in proof.
Right.
So even if you own the lowest grade example of the 5, it's worth
Millions of dollars.
millions of dollars,
yes.
even though it's the lowest grade because it's rare in any condition. Morgan dollars and peace dollars were struck in the hundreds of millions. Most of them that are circulated, like these coins here, I was able to pick them up at the coin shop for $35, $40. But to get them in uncirculated condition, this is where they become really rare. Here's a chart showing the total number of peace dollars struck through the entire series. Peace dollars were struck from 1921 to 1935, over 24 different dates and mint marks. Over the entire series, they struck about 190 million coins. But of those, only 1.3 million have been certified in uncirculated mint state condition. That's less than 1%.
Right.
That is what's called condition rarity. Less than 1%, folks. That's why when you look at the values of uncirculated peace dollars over the last many years, here's a chart that compares the price of bullion to the price of uncirculated peace dollars. Now, Jack and I have never promoted bullion on our show. I mean, I remember a lot of shows would talk about bullion. I remember back in 2012 when silver bullion was around $32 an ounce. They were telling their clients to back up the truck because all these experts were predicting silver would be worth $100, $200 an ounce by the end of the year, or by the year after. I mean, these experts, to me, they were like the proverbial broken clock. They were, they were right twice a day. You never heard about all their lousy predictions, like the fact that when you look on that chart, right now, silver's around $18 an ounce.
Right.
So all those people that back the truck up, they're really in the hole. On the other hand, we have talked about uncirculated Morgan dollars and peace dollars.
Right.
When you look on the chart, back in 2012, a complete uncirculated set of peace dollars, and just lowest grade mint state 60, was around $4,000. And here we are, while silver has gone down in value, almost 50% to where it was, the price of an uncirculated mint state 60 peace dollar set has increased in value dramatically because of the condition rarity.
Right.
They're not minting or mining new uncirculated peace dollars. They were last struck in 1935. What there was, what they struck is all there is. So when we came across this hoard that had been put away for decades and decades and decades, and today we get to pass our good fortune on to you. The first coin we have in this set, the 1923p. Here's one comp I was able to find, Jack. This is not even truly uncirculated.
Oh, it's clean.
It's
that's a damaged coin.
This is a PNG dealer, folks. PNG dealer, and it's a fair price. MS60, but it's cleaned, details. In other words, the coin is some kind of abrasive has been used on the coin to scratch the surface, so it's not even a gradable coin, really.
Right.
And yet that coin is at $65. Take a look at these 23Ps we have for you today, folks. We've got these 23Ps. You take a look at these. If you want one example, call in now. We've got 6 different peace dollar dates in total in this set, but we're starting with the 23P because this is the most common date in the set. It's the most common peace dollar, but in an uncirculated condition, it's a scarce coin. We've got these coins for only $49 a coin for a 1923P cherry-picked by Jack and I. Hand-selected, choice, brilliant, uncirculated condition. $49 a coin. If you've never bought a Morgan dollar or peace dollar before, this is the perfect time to start, to get a brilliant, uncirculated example. Not a circulated piece. Right. Again, I've seen shows where they show silver dollars and they're circulated. Most peace dollars are circulated.
I mean, these are coins that are virtually 100 years old now, and they look like they're brand new.
Exactly.
And they're not. They're almost 100 years old.
And it's only $49, folks.
Yes.
Now, here's where it gets even better. I've put together this chart where I'm listing all the Morgans and peace dollars in uncirculated condition in order of their condition rarity, from the most common dates to the rarest dates. And this first page here are the most common dates. And there you see the 23p at the top. The next coin you're going to get is a 22p, considerably more elusive than the 1923p. We pulled a couple comps for the 1922p here, Jack. There's an MS61, kind of some toning that doesn't look so attractive. MS61 for $500. There's an MS63 for $632. That's the one that sold in auction. That's sold in auction for $632. There's one in MS62. Again, that looks like, it doesn't look very attractive to me, for over $1,800, okay? Take a look at the 22Ps we have here, folks. The 23P is $49. If you want to add a 1922P to your collection, you get the two coins, folks, for $98. In other words, the 22P is an additional $49, the same price as the 1923P. The pair for only $98. If your coin budget is only $100 a month, this is the perfect place to start. A beautiful, brilliant, uncirculated 1923P, and then the next coin, the 1922P. And now, Jack, this is where it gets even better, because you look on that page.
Right.
The third coin we have is the 1925P, and it's considerably
much rarer.
About 6 times rarer than the 1923P. Only around 55,000 examples certified in uncirculated mint state condition. Extremely elusive. You take a look at the 25P we have that we are including in this set. Again, we bought this incredible silver dollar hoard of mixed dates. And when we get good fortune that comes our way, there's nothing we enjoy more than passing that opportunity on to you.
So it's not 6 times as much money.
It's not 6 times. It's not 6
should
times.
be.
It's not 3 times. It's not double as the price. In fact, folks, you get all 3 coins for $147. In other words, it's the same price as the previous 2 pieces.
Right.
$49 for all 3 coins. $49 each. $147 for the 3 coin set. It really doesn't get any better than that. $147 for a beautiful, brilliant, uncirculated 1923P, a 22P that's even more elusive than the 23, and then a 25P that's about 6 times rarer than the 23P. I'm getting you should talk for a while.
It's so
now, Jack. I'm getting
I understand.
tongue-tied
It's
here.
exciting when we get coins that are this beautiful and we can offer them at these kind of prices. It does get a little. It can be a little overwhelming.
Now,
I mean,
we already have people calling in. Again, there's 6 coins total that we're offering today, folks. We have people calling in. We've Jack. We have some open lines, but I understand we've already had some people ordering the complete 6-coin set. They haven't even seen the other 3 coins yet. Well, let's go to the second page here.
because they get rarer.
This is where Jack and I really knock it out of the park, because now we're getting into some really, really rare coins. Second page, we're calling these the scarce dates. You can see there are no peach dollars on this page. There's some Morgan, they're all Morgan dollars. You have dates like the 81cc and the 85cc on that page. Those are $1,000
Those
in
are
uncirculated mint state condition.
Famous coins, 78cc. Those are some famous rare coins.
But the
in there.
coins next coin we have, Jack, is even rarer than the coins that are on this page.
That's exciting.
The next page we have a couple peace dollars on there, 21p. That's really rare. Here's a couple 21Ps I have here, Jack. Now, we're not offering the 21P, but you see it's highlighted in black there. But a 21P, here's one MS60 details, and this is a PNG deal. MS60 is a $550 coin. Again, uncirculated MS60, but again, clean,
Right,
details.
damaged coin,
It's
right.
damaged. It's pretty much like a circulated coin once you clean it, folks. None of the coins we offer are cleaned or damaged. They're brilliant uncirculated specimens that Jack and I have gone through with a fine-tooth comb and cherry-picked out of these bags. And this coin by itself is $550. Here's another example. Same thing, details, meaning it's been cleaned.
Right.
A PNG dealer, Professional Numismatist Guild.
Right.
That's a tongue twister. I'm a PNG member. Again, it's a $500 coin. The coin we have is even rarer than the 21p. It's on the next page. Take a look at this. This is extraordinary, Jack. This is where we were so fortunate, folks, to get a handful of these rarer dates in some of these bags. Because the next coin we have is a 1922D.
Yeah, 22D. As you see there with those pops, much
Only
scarcer
7,500 coins certified. There are coins on this page, folks, in mint state condition that are $1,000, $2,000 and more.
Yeah, easily.
Take a look at the 22D we have. This is the fourth coin in the set. The 4-coin set with the 22D is $259. That's all 4 coins, not just for the 22D. That's all 4 coins. 1922D. Now the mint mark on these peace dollars is fascinating.
Yeah.
The mint mark on the reverse, when you turn it over, it looks like they use the same mint mark for the Mercury dimes.
it's very
It's
small.
tiny.
It's just there below the word 1, just above the eagle's feather, tail feather there. Near the rim. It's about 7, 8
There we
o'clock
go. We're
near the
zooming
rim.
in there.
It's
Now
so
you can
tiny.
see the tiny little D. That is the mint mark on the peace dollar.
But it's so important. It's so important to
It is.
designate this coin was struck in Denver.
Yes, because so the 22D is over 10 times rarer than the 22P.
Right.
And
It's a
so the
lot
22D is in the set, and the whole set is only $259. So we're passing our good fortune on to you. We got a handful of some of these rare dates, a 5th coin in the set. Well, Jack, we had to have a peace dollar struck at the San Francisco Mint.
yeah, of
The
course.
Peace dollars were struck at 3 mints: Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco.
Right. Right. So we needed to add an S mint. We decided on the 22S.
We're so lucky
Again,
to get some
tough date.
22S's.
Oh yeah, tough date. You saw on that chart. There's about 6,300 coins graded, mint state.
6,300 coins.
So a much tougher date, and we thought that was important to add some of thes tough dates as we're going through this hoard. We're finding coins. We're figuring out what is there enough to make a few sets. And we found these coins. We thought this is the perfect coin to put in this set. It's an S mint, so condition rarity, tough date, scarce coin.
So fortunate to find some of the 22S's in this bag. So we're able to offer it at this kind of price.
Right. Yeah. This is just $379, and that's not for the 22S. That's now for the 5 coins. The 4 prior coins we talked about. Adding in this 5th coin, just $379. And there's some, as you know, obviously we're getting into some much scarcer dates. That 22S.
There you see the S,
the 22D.
yes, again, the tiny mint mark there, Jack.
Right, yep.
There's a San Francisco mint mark. That's, again, so important. This is not a 22p. This is about, 30 times, 40 times, 50 times rarer than a 22p?
Right, much rarer.
You know?
Absolutely.
A 22 San Francisco mint peace dollar. And that's all for $379. Now, folks, again, we got a lot of people calling in the 6-coin set. We said it's a 6-coin set. Sasha, what's the 6th coin? Let's continue on with our chart here, our condition rarity chart. What's next on that chart?
Oh, it's not even on that page.
It's not on that page. Let's go to the next page. Where is that coin? Here we are, the last coin in the set. Here we get into the extremely rare dates, fewer than 4,000 certified. Wow. We did get some 23Ds, Jack, only 3,600 graded. And you look there, for example, 1879cc. Folks, 1879cc, I mean, even in AU condition.
Oh yeah,
AU
famous.
condition is a $4,000 coin.
It's a famous coin, 79cc. Everybody collects Morgan's.
Yeah.
Knows that is a hard coin to get. It's an expensive coin.
Typical low-grade example, MS62 which is a good grade, but it's over $6,000, and that's where the market is for 79cc. Well, you're getting into silver dollars that have incredible condition rarity. So going back to that chart there, we've got this last coin to find a handful of these 23Ds in these bags.
Right.
You take a look at this, folks. We've got the last coin, the entire 6-coin set. Jack, It's $595. That's less than $100 a coin.
that's a great
including
value.
the 23D.
Yeah, this is an extraordinary value. This is just a great value. I mean, those 3 mint-marked coins there alone, we just showed you on the rarity chart how few of them exist in mint state. Those 3 coins alone could easily cost well over $600. But for $595 for this 6-coin set, plus on top of it, we're going to put it in a nice wood box for you to store them in. It's a great collection for the price. It's just an extraordinary price for this collection.
Yeah, we've got this presentation box for the 6-coin set, folks. This Peace Dollar collection. Again, we've got a lot of folks call. Do we have any open lines here? 2 open lines. Jack, we are not doing our job here. We shouldn't have any open lines for this.
Right.
Folks, well, let me just
Let's make sure
circle
they
back a little
understand.
bit.
Let's make sure they understand just how rare these coins
I've handled
are.
some of the finest silver dollar collections. I've assembled some of the finest.
Absolutely.
My clients have gotten awards for some of the.
Right.
Sasha, where is that plaque for one of my clients? For the finest known Morgan dollar collection in 2006.
Right.
I have clients who have some of the finest known silver dollar collections. That was the #1 set on the NGC registry. And here we have some extraordinary peace dollars, a horde of peace dollars and Morgan dollars, the likes of which I have never handled. You never handled in your years at Stax.
Right.
We were really fortunate. And the nice thing is we're able to assemble this in such a way that even if your budget is only $100, we're starting with the 1923P because that was the coin that was the most common in these bags.
Right.
We're able to offer the 23Ps for only $49 a coin.
Right.
And if you want to get more than one 23P, you can get more than one. You can get 10 or 20 if you want, and they're $49 a coin. But then if you want to build a set, the second coin we have is a tougher coin, considerably more difficult, the 22P, but we're able to offer the pair for only $98. In other words, an additional $49. An additional, same price as the 23P. But then this is where we start really, I mean, this is a triple right here. If you can afford 3 examples, for $147, we're including the 1925P, which is about 6 times rarer than the 23P. And here's where you're getting to some really scarce coins in uncirculated mint state condition. But then this is where we really knock it out of the park because the 4th coin is the very scarce 1922D. In fact, on my rarity chart, it's a rare date. Only 7,541 examples certified in mint state condition by NGC. And we've got this 22D included in the set, all 4 coins, for only $259. Now, I understand we've got a lot of people buying the entire 6-coin set. The entire 6-coin set's $595, but this 4-coin set for only $259 is a tremendous value. If that's your coin budget, folks, that's a great place to start.
Right.
You can't do any better than that. Now, the 5th coin we have, because you're getting that 22D, now the 5th coin we have includes, as you point out, a San Francisco mint issue, the 22S, which is even rare, only 6,400 examples certified. So you're getting all 3 mints, the P, D, and S in the 5-coin set, and you're getting it all for $379. So we're getting a lot of people calling in. Do we have any open lines? The lines are currently locked right now. If you just hold on, we will get to you, folks. Just be patient on this. This is a riveting offer. This is the perfect place to start, our perfect peace dollar offer here for the collector of today's. Such collector-friendly prices. The 5-coin set for only $379. But then, if you want the monster set, if you want all 6, we've got the 1923D.
Right.
Only 3,678 examples certified in uncirculated mint state condition. Could we get a hand shot of this last coin, Sasha? 1923D, and again, that tiny little Denver mint mark, which means everything, because this coin is about roughly 100 times rarer than the 23P.
Right.
Because it has that tiny little Denver mint mark there, right at about 8 o'clock, right above the tail feathers. And the whole set is only $595 in the custom case. This is the kind of set, folks. This is the kind of set that Jack and I specialize in, offering you coins with tremendous future potential, coins that offer tremendous eye appeal, quality, and rarity. And you're getting this entire 6-coin set for only $595, less than $100 a coin.
Yeah, I could easily see a few of these coins individually selling for that much money.
I mean, we talked about, again, some of the rarest Morgan dollars, like the 1893S. In just mint state 60, AU examples are $50,000, $70,000, $80,000.
Right.
The lowest mint state examples are over $100,000. And here we've got some really tough piece dollars, the entire set for $595, with tremendous, tremendous condition rarity, tremendous eye appeal.
Right. Yeah, they're beautiful coins. Stunning.
These are our selections from this great American silver dollar hoard, an extraordinary hoard of approximately 50 bags of mixed states Morgan and Peace dollars that Jack and I have cherry-picked, because again, these are really choicer examples from these bags. Right. And we were so fortunate to get some rare dates in these bags that we've been able to include in these sets at such collector-friendly prices.
Right.
Again, these are not your circulated Peace dollars.
No, these are not these worn out
so
coins.
important. These are
not
not
these worn
circulated.
out coins.
They're uncirculated.
These are uncirculated coins. Like here, I'm just pulling coins out of the bag, and we cherry picked, but we almost didn't have to.
We're very careful.
These bags were well taken care of. Like, look, I just pulled this right out of this bag. I mean, these are the kind of coins that we're finding.
These bags were put away for decades and decades and decades, folks. Remember, the last Peace dollars were struck in 1935. Some of these coins were put away in the 1930s. Okay, this is a long, long, old collection passed down through generations from the family where they had these Peace dollars. It's extraordinary. It's the great American silver dollar hoard that we have here on Rick's U.S. Coin Show. So, in closing, this is the finest group of silver dollars we've ever handled. Right. It's extraordinary. I hope you can get at least one coin, that 23p for $49 in brilliant uncirculated condition. If you can swing the entire set, folks, please do so.
Oh, yeah.
From the Coin Guys, I'm Rick.
I'm Jack.
Hey, thank you for watching.
To be here.
But please stay tuned. Please stay tuned, because you never know what we're going to come up with next.
All right, everybody, it's here. The coin everybody wants. It is the 2019 San Francisco Struck Enhanced Reverse Proof Silver Eagle. There's never been a coin like this before. Well, there's been a lot of Silver Eagles, of course, have been making this silver dollar since 1986. This has been the most popular silver dollar in the world. It's even more popular than the beloved Morgan dollar. And we sell a lot of American Silver Eagles, and we do them in complete collections from the very beginning right up to the present time, both in mint state and in proof. The thing about the American Silver Eagle is it didn't happen right away, but after a few years of production, collectors began to realize that even the bullion issue, the mint state issue, were quite collectible. And of course, the proofs, which are struck for collectors anyways, and have to be ordered directly from the U.S. Mint, are the ultimate when it comes to an American Silver Eagle as a collectible. And there are a lot of folks who would argue that mint state or proof, but either way, the most popular silver dollar in the United States of America today is the American Silver Eagle dollar. This is a broad program that's been going strong since 1986. Ronald Reagan signed into law the Liberty Coin Act, which authorized the Treasury, and this was in 1985, he authorized the Treasury to begin striking this coin, and that was in 1986 when they started striking. So since 1986, as a business strike, or a bullion issue, if you will, over 534 million coins. The collectible coins are the proof and the burnished die. The burnished die is really an uncirculated, a business strike with a mint mark on it. The business strikes don't carry a mint mark. So the proofs, there were 23 million. Burnished dies, 3.6 million. Now, the reverse proofs are the scarcest of all the American Silver Eagle dollars. They're only around since 2006. So they did a reverse proof in 2006, one in 2011, one in 2013. And for 2019, it was a really special, enhanced reverse proof that the mint struck at San Francisco. If you snap your fingers like this, they sold out quicker than that. Everybody from all over the world wanted one of those coins. We have the ultimate version of that coin. Now, here's the thing about that coin. Going in, it was announced that it would have the lowest mintage of any Silver Eagle ever issued. Whether it be the mint state, burnished die, or the proofs, this is the absolute lowest mintage. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, no, it's not. The 1995 from West Point that was issued to commemorate the 10th anniversary of the program has the lowest mintage. That's the king. That's the American Silver Eagle version of the 1893 S. Morgan dollar. So we take a look here, and at the very bottom, in red, is for 2019 from San Francisco, enhanced reverse proof, Silver Eagle. There were only 30,000 coins. And you can see a total of over 562 million Silver Eagles of all kinds have been struck up to 2019. There is a new king. There's a new kid in town. It's the 2019 San Francisco struck, enhanced reverse proof Silver Eagle with a mintage of only 30,000. Millions of people didn't get one of these coins. They tried, they couldn't get one. Almost everybody was shut out because only 30,000 coins exist. And you know the thing about that coin? Every single one of them is out the door, shipped out of the U.S. Mint. They're not in vaults, they're not on shelves, they're gone. That's a lot of people who own Silver Eagles. So it's pretty understandable why almost everybody, virtually everybody, I mean, statistically, the percentage of people who got this coin, forget it, so low, can't even calculate. Individually, American proof Silver Eagles, starting at the top with the highest mintage in the 1986. And that really got the program off and running because everybody was so anxious for a great new silver dollar. It was very, very popular. And we have listed these coins in descending mintage. So as you look at all these great dates, and everyone up there is represented. Now, there is something I want to tell all you collectors out there before you ask, where's the 2009? There was not a 2009 issued except as the bullion, the mint state. The burnished die and the proofs were not struck. There wasn't enough silver. There were runs on silver that began shortly before that that did not allow the mint any leftover silver after the mandatory other coins were struck to produce the 2009 proof. So I'm going to answer your question in advance. You don't have a 2009 proof Silver Eagle because one never existed. Let's get back to the proof Silver Eagles that do exist. So here you see all the great coins, fabulous coins, and in the highest grade, if you're lucky enough to get these coins in a perfect proof 70 grade, you have a numismatic masterpiece. And the 6.9s are pretty good too, that's for sure. So go all the way through the whole list, every year, every key date, rare date, they're all there. In fact, there goes the 1995 W. You know, I have to say it, the king is dead, long live the king, right? The new king, it always used to be that 1995 W was at the very bottom of the list. The mintage was 30,125. Well, like I said, there's a new kid in town. Take a look. Only 30,000 enhanced reverse proofs. And by the way, of the 4 issues of the enhanced reverse proof, that's the lowest mintage. Well, let's face it, there is no Silver Eagle, no matter what the finish, as low a mintage as this coin from San Francisco. None. Now, I mentioned in 1995, a great coin was offered by the U.S. Mint for the 10th anniversary. And there is an auction price realized. And this goes way back, folks. This is 10, 12 years old, even older. And I'm showing you this because in 1995, with the mintage of 30,125, began to get a little steam right about now. And there's one that sold at auction for $3,490. Well, yeah, boy, would we love to get one of those today. Oh, and by the way, it was a perfect 70 grade. Little time went by, a few years, and one sold also in a perfect 70 grade, the 1995, for almost $14,000. Started to gain steam, and not that long ago, but still quite a few years, over $22,000. 1995W in a perfect grade, rarest of them all, until the coin we are premiering right now. $23,500 was a relatively recent sale. And I have to tell you right now, honestly, if you called us for a 1995W, you're going to pay more than that. Probably 25 grand, maybe even more. It gained steam as the Silver Eagle program did. Because at first, you know, a lot of people didn't pay attention to the Silver Eagle program. But as the grading services started to certify the coin and enough years were issued to put together collections, it started to become incredibly popular. They're writing books about the Silver Eagle right now. And that rarely happens. I mean, usually it's, you know, history, a long time has to go by before people start delving into the ancient history of like the half dollars and the silver dollars and all that kind of stuff. But the Silver Eagle, so popular that almost immediately became legendary. So here is a lot of 3 first day of issue, 2019 S enhanced reverse proof, being offered at close to $170,000, 3 coins. That's rarity. You cannot deny that. 3 coins, first day of issue, PCGS graded. Here are 2 graded. Now these are all proof 70, reverse proof 70 grades. These come with the certificate of authenticity. So do ours. They're all encapsulated as well. And you'll get a certificate that corresponds to the certificate number on the label, just as you see there. So there are 2 being offered right there for $20,000, for $10,000 each, 2019. I mean, this coin is the rarest Silver Eagle ever issued. The lowest mintage, rarest. This is absolute rarity. I mean, seriously, a 2019 S enhanced reverse proof, if it was out of the certification and run over by a train, it would still be worth $5 grand. That's the rarity of this coin. Here's another Mercanti signed label. You know, ours is too. And we have first day of issue. That one is $5,595. Now, this would be a great time for me to stop to let you know I'm lucky, but you're even luckier, and I'll tell you why. I literally threw a tantrum. I'm not kidding. To keep this coin at the price that we have it at, because the market is accelerating at warp speed. And they were so nice. Jack and Rick. I said, come on. This is the coin everybody's been waiting for. This is the coin that you would still have to submit 2 or 3 to get a perfect grade back. But nobody can find them anyways. And when you can, here's one at $5,500. So we have them in PCGS grade, Mercanti signed, perfect proof 70 grade. It's really a reverse proof 70 grade. Did I mention first day of issue? You know those coins I showed you where they were offering 3 for almost $170,000? Those were first day of issue. They weren't signed by Mercanti. So how about this? Let's see. I know you want to know the price. And I'm milking this a little bit, and I'm sorry. Because here's one for $4,800. I don't see any Mercanti signature. That one's a first strike. We have first day of issue. The first day of issue. Rare Collectibles TV sells the 2019 S in a perfect grade by PCGS with a signature of John Mercanti, the designer of the reverse. It's a headline. It really is. It's a newspaper headline because we sell this coin for $3,495, less than $3,500. $3,495. Unreal. and we're splitting it into 2 payments. This is the rarest American Silver Eagle dollar ever. Enhanced reverse proof. We at Rare Collectibles TV sell this coin for $3,495 in a perfect grade of reverse proof 70. John Mercanti has signed the label. It's the lowest mintage. Now, the reverse proofs, there's hardly any of anyways. This is merely just the 4th. But of the 4, this is the lowest mintage by far. $3,495. You know, not every one of these or every 2 of these are going to be a perfect grade. In spite of the fact that the Mint uses the latest technology and the greatest artists to produce the most stunning silver dollars, absolutely flawless. And they're flawless under magnification, 5 times magnified, and not a flaw. That's how you tell the difference between a proof 69 and a proof 70. They come with the original certificate of authenticity, and it corresponds with the certificate number on the label. So this coin is fully pedigreed, fully archived in your collection right now. Even before you get it, you're making a space. It is the rarest of them all. Folks, there's a lot of coin collectors. There are millions of American Silver Eagle collectors. Most everybody, I would have to say 95, 98% of all the coin collectors who wanted this coin weren't able to get one. They're out there right now paying $55.95, or maybe they get it for $4,800. $3,495, split into 2 payments. The coin is fantastically priced, but this is a spectacular deal because it's got the greatest price, the highest grade, one of the greatest grading services, first day of issue. It goes on and on and on for the value. Oh, John Mercanti, the designer of the reverse. Now, we all know that for 2021, that reverse that you see going by right there is going away. Adds to the collectability. I mean, that coin with the San Francisco Mint mark, look at the different finishes on that coin that incorporate an enhanced reverse proof. Back in 1907, when the first St. Gaudens was struck as an experimental piece, the reason why Augustus St. Gaudens and Teddy Roosevelt got together to strike that coin was to show the world what the U.S. Mint could do in terms of state-of-the-art technology and artistry. That was true in 1907, and it's true in 2019. Because the Mint has always prided itself on making the highest quality collector coins, the highest quality coins, period, of any minting operation in the world. People send their employees from other mints to our mint to learn how to strike coins. I've seen them. I've seen them come into town. I've seen them come to America from all over, come to coin shows. I'd say, what are you doing here? They'd say, we went to the Mint in San Francisco. We went to the Mint in Philadelphia because we needed some tutoring on how you guys do such a good job. There's a lot to striking a coin. So when you talk about quality, the highest quality, the U.S. Mint, the flagship mint for all the world's mints. We have it at the greatest price. And I'll say it again, I'd like to shout this through a megaphone. $3,495. 2 payments of $1,747.50 for the rarest, absolute rarest American Silver Eagle. No Silver Eagle, whether it be proof, burnished die, none, have a mintage as low as 30,000. But this coin does. It is the king of the hill, the top of the mountain. It's everything. 2 payments of $1,747.50. Now, I don't really think I'm done talking about this coin because, folks, it's less than $3,500. I guarantee you right now, uncertified, for the coins that are uncertified, they have to be in a mint sealed box. For you to be able to purchase a coin that's not graded in a mint sealed box right now, I guarantee you, will cost 2 times easily, probably 3 times, because there's that potential for a perfect grade. These are perfect grade. You don't have to buy multiple coins at several $1,000s more than we're selling a perfect reverse proof 70 to try to get one graded a 70 by the grading service. And then you got to go chase down John McConaughey and beg him to sign your label, and that's not going to happen. So this is the ultimate absolute rarity in the Silver Eagle series. And think about this. As time goes on, this coin, if it's hard to get now, I can guarantee you, impossible. Impossible. When I first started as a coin dealer, close to 40 years ago, some of the greatest coins were still available. You could buy an 1893S in a pretty nice grade. You could buy some of the great coins that today are untouchable. This one's headed in that direction. That's all I want to say. That's all I need to say. So, folks, it's here. We have it. They're live. They're the ultimate, the greatest price. And if you don't get one now, I'm sorry. That's all I can tell you. But I'm really happy to be able to bring it to you right now. But I got to wrap this up. So don't forget, $3,495. Split the payment in 2. Make it really easy to own this coin. And add this into your collection, because it is absolutely the greatest ever issued, and only going to get better as time goes on. Thanks for watching. I always say this, stay tuned, because there's going to be another great coin coming up. I'm positive. Thank you very much.
Jack and Rick here, the coin guys.
This is exciting.
We are so thrilled, folks, with what we have to offer you today. This is literally the finest group of $5 United States gold pieces ever offered in the history of Coin TV. And
absolutely.
When you talk about Coin TV, it goes back 30 years.
Oh, yeah.
Never has anybody ever offered what we have today, folks. In fact, Jack, these coins shouldn't even exist.
No, definitely not.
They shouldn't exist, but that's a story we'll get into in just a second. These are among the earliest coins struck at the Granite Lady at the San Francisco Mint.
San Francisco Mint.
Struck in
Fabled
1882.
Mint. Yeah, fabled mint. I mean, so much history there. You know, they first started striking coins at that facility in 1874.
Yeah.
And I had the pleasure a few years back to go and film there and tour the building. It's remarkable to think I was in the same vaults in the basement of this building where these coins would have been stored when they were made, and the same rooms where they would have been struck. It was pretty wild.
Referred to as the Granite Lady, what the walls were like, what, 6 feet thick granite or something?
Huge, thick stone walls.
Yeah.
The facade is granite. I think the base is actually sandstone, but it was built so heavy and secure so that people couldn't tunnel in and steal from it. But because it was so strong, you know, in the great earthquake
1906
of 1906, it's one of the few buildings that remained standing in San Francisco, and actually was integral to kind of the rebuilding of San Francisco, because it was such a big, secure building that was still standing after the fires and everything. It was used for financial transactions and relief and banking, and it became kind of a center to rebuild that community. So, I mean, just so much history in that building.
Folks, please take a look at what we have today. These are $5 gold pieces struck at the Granite Lady, San Francisco Mint in 1882. 1882 in mint state, 63 condition. That means they're uncirculated.
Yeah,
they were never in circulation. They have literally been in mint bags for about 140 years.
Just about, yeah.
Yeah. take a look at this.
And they're just so lustrous. They're really
Yeah.
beautiful coins. I was holding a few earlier and rotating them in the light and inspecting them. They're just really stunning coins.
Now, these coins, again, these coins were struck for commerce. Well, he struck about 1 million examples in 1882 at the San Francisco Mint. They were struck for commerce, which means the coins were struck on the die. They were ejected into bins, and they would go through coin counting machines, and they'd be dumped into bags where they would go onto trains and get shipped to banks around the country.
Right. Trains and ships and all different ways.
And
they would,
the vast majority went into commerce. These examples, however, remained in mint bags and never made it into circulation. In fact, we have one of the bags that came from the original source. These bags, folks, came out of the Great European Bank Hoard. And that's where these coins originated, these 1882s $5 gold pieces.
Now, I think what makes this so exciting to me is, I mean, think about, you know, the story of the bank hoard, and I'm sure you'll get into it in a moment of how funds were transferred overseas. You're trying to transfer a large amount of money, you do it with the largest denomination. Today, if you were trying to move $1,000, you know, $10,000 or whatever, you'd take $100 bills. You wouldn't take $5 bills.
Right.
So most of the coins in the European bank hoard are 20s.
Exactly.
Fives are very unusual because it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly. We've had a lot of offerings of $20 double eagles and a lot of $10 eagles, but we've never had anything like $5. You know,
they're just so scarce.
They're so scarce, folks. So this is the greatest group, again, of the 1882s ever offered. They are so rare. They are among the finest known. If you went to the Smithsonian, the Smithsonian has the finest collection of United States coins in the world.
Right. Literally national treasure.
It truly is. And if you look at the 1882s $5 gold piece in the Smithsonian, it will be an MS-64.
Yeah, so just one
grade
tiny
higher.
point higher.
Now, there are only 1,100, approximately 1,100 of these graded in MS-63 condition.
Which is nothing.
We have, folks, approximately 400 that came out of the Great European Bank Hoard. Again, as I said earlier, these coins should not exist. Now, the story of the existence of this particular group of 1882s $5 gold pieces really begins with the Great Depression. This was an economic catastrophe for our country, really the greatest disaster economically that our country has ever faced. The unemployment rate was estimated to be 25–30%. In 1933 alone, there were an estimated 4,000 bank failures. 4,000 bank failures. And back then, folks, in 1933, there was no federal deposit insurance to guarantee your money. So you could have your life savings that you've accumulated over 20, 30 years, that you had in the bank, your nest egg for your retirement. You go to the bank the next day, and the bank's shuttered closed.
Right.
And this was terrifying to citizens around the country.
This is devastating.
Well, there were a lot of citizens who had their money in banks that had not yet failed, who were terrified that their banks would be next.
Right.
And so a lot of them began to take their money out of the banks, and with that money, they were buying gold coins. Because paper money, I mean, our economy could go under and that paper money could be worthless, you know, in 6 months or a year. But gold, throughout human history, if you go back to Egyptian times, you know, thousands of years BC, gold through every culture has always had value. And so they were taking their paper money and buying gold bullion, gold coins. Well, all these citizens pulling the paper money out of the banks created additional stress on the banking system.
Right. So that's when President Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt, instituted Executive Order 6102, which made it illegal for private citizens to own gold. They had to return their gold coins and redeem their coins back to the federal government. You could only own a small amount of gold.
Yeah, $100
jewelry.
worth of gold.
Yeah, it was a tiny amount. Yeah.
Yeah.
So most of these coins got melted down. They got returned to the government. I mean, people went to jail who tried to get around this and save gold. I mean,
Yeah,
it was a big deal.
It was enforced. If
Right.
if you were caught with over $100 worth of gold, you faced a $10,000 fine or 10 years imprisonment
Right,
or
yeah.
both.
Yeah, they're serious. They
They
weren't
were
messing
very,
around.
very
They were
serious.
Oh, yeah.
So you had a lot of citizens, really, if I were in their position, I mean, you know, they were stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Right,
You keep
absolutely.
your money in the bank, and the bank could go under the next day, and you're wiped out. But then you pull your money out and you buy gold with it, and you get arrested for owning gold.
Right. Right.
Well, there were a lot of citizens and some institutions who said, you know, there is a third choice here. And they began before this date arrived when it was illegal to own gold, they began to buy gold and have them shipped in bags by ship to banks in Europe. And they've been in these banks since the 1930s. Most of them, as you said, Jack, were double eagles, the largest gold coins.
Right.
Very rarely do we find $5 gold pieces, especially from this early vintage. Most of the gold we find out of the European bank hoard, the coins were struck in the 1920s, early 1900s. Very rarely do you find anything in the 1890s.
Right.
And 1882 in mint state uncirculated
Yeah.
condition. These are essentially, folks, as they were in the original bag from 1882. They've
Yeah, I
been
was gonna
sitting in this
I was gonna
bag.
say too, when we're lucky enough to find some of these earlier dates, usually they're not mint state though. They're
Right.
just they've been in mixed bags
been
and then
circulated.
and then when we get them, we sort them out and pick the dates we want. But it's not a solid, uncirculated group of coins that's been together since the time they were struck.
So all this gold being turned into the U.S. Mint. Well, the U.S. Mint proceeded to melt all those gold coins back down into gold bars, and incredibly enough. You look at the number of $5 gold pieces struck, folks, of the total mintage of all the $5 gold pieces struck,
Right.
the mint melted down almost 34% of all the $5 gold pieces originally struck. And most of those, again, were later vintage.
Right.
These 1882 S's, folks, in this condition, you just don't find them in, like Jack said, in uncirculated condition. They've been sitting in these bags since the 1930s. And then in the mid-1970s, then President Gerald Ford signed a bill making it once again legal to own over $100 worth of gold. And that's when some of this gold in these banks in Europe began to come out. Now, again, we've had some of the greatest groups of gold coins coming out of the great European bank hoard that we've been able to offer over the past several years. And our philosophy, the key to our success, is that because we really are first in line for some of these opportunities, we negotiate the best possible prices, we buy the entire deals, and we pass our good fortune on to you. And folks, again, the great European bank hoard, this is really a Halley's Comet kind of moment.
Right.
The gold in those European banks is really depleted substantially since they first began releasing these coins.
Right.
And there's very, very little left from the great European gold hoard. And again, these 1882 S's, we will never, one thing that we can be very certain of, we will never be able to offer another group of $5 gold pieces of this quality, in this quantity, ever again.
Right.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime moment. We have approximately 400 examples. Now, to give you an idea of how rare these coins are, Sasha has a chart here showing you the total mintage of all the $5 Liberty gold pieces struck from 1839 to 1908. About 75 million coins. Now, as Jack said, the vast majority were used in commerce. They were heavily used in our banking system.
Right.
And so they were circulated. The number of coins that remained uncirculated, in other words, they never made it into commerce, is minuscule. Only 185,000 coins certified by PCGS out of that total mintage of 75 million coins. And then for the entire series from 1839 to 1908, a grand total of only 37,759 coins.
I mean, so think about this. The entire series from 1839 to 1908, about 74 million struck, which it's not a tiny number, but when you think relative to today, we strike like in the billions of coins a year. Like, I mean,
And this
to
is over
strike-
about 70 years.
Right, 70 years,
You know.
and they strike that many coins. I mean, there's many
And
coins. They
plus-
strike more Lincoln pennies
plus,
in a
Jack,
year.
there were different
Wow.
mint marks. You had the S mints,
Right.
you had D mints, you had the Philadelphia mints.
Right. They strike more pennies in the
Yeah.
Philadelphia Mint in 1 year
Yeah.
than they did for 70 years of this series.
And here's what we want you to see. This is the most important chart here that shows you the number of 1882 S's that have survived in MS-63. Out of the total mintage of 969,000 coins,
This is impressive.
PCGS has only certified 1,110 examples in MS-63 condition. You look at that number, folks, about 1,100 coins. And again, we have around approximately 400 of those 1,100 coins.
That's incredible.
This was the most incredible group of $5 gold pieces, especially 1882 S's, that's ever
Right.
surfaced.
Oh, yeah.
Ever surfaced. And again, we bought the entire deal. We got them at a great price, and we're passing our good fortune on to you today. Now, for those of you who are new to numismatics and you're looking at these coins, if we can get a close-up of one of these, MS-63, what exactly does that mean? Well, coins are graded on a 70-point, they call it the Sheldon grading
Right, yeah.
scale.
William Sheldon came up with the scale when he was collecting large cents.
And it goes from 1 up to a high of 70.
Right.
The lower the number, the lousier the condition.
One you can barely recognize. It's 70, absolutely flawless. For coins of this era, there is no such thing as a 70.
No.
And there's almost very few coins above even a 65 almost is non-existent.
Yeah, exactly.
So 63 is a really high grade for this coin.
Anything below a 60 is a coin that's been in circulation.
Right, it has some wear. It's been used.
And that's why that one number is so important, where we showed you the number graded in MS-60 or higher. For the 1882S, PCGS has only certified about 3,500 coins in MS-60 or higher grade. In other words, about 3,500 coins that were never in circulation. All the others were either melted down or were in circulation.
Right.
So this represents what you see here in MS-63 condition, the top 0.1% in quality for the 1882S Liberty $5 gold piece, folks. This is essentially Smithsonian quality.
Yeah, these are lovely coins.
Again, the Smithsonian specimen is an MS-64. You look at this coin. When we get a close-up of this, again, this is a coin that was never in circulation. You see a few tiny ticks on it, and you see a couple tiny abrasions from mixing with the other coins in the bag.
Right, but these coins really, in MS-63, like you said, this is really the best bang for the buck.
It
because you're
really,
getting
truly is. Look at this.
A really high-grade, beautiful mint state
All the
coin
detail.
with all the detail. This is a coin that back in the old days, before we were using that numeric grading scale, you know, the Sheldon scale, this is what they'd call choice brilliant uncirculated. You know, it's not just uncirculated. It's not brilliant. It's choice brilliant uncirculated, because there's, you know, so few bag marks, so much luster.
Exactly.
They're just beautiful coins. So Rick, before we price this, let's just show them a size comparison here. We have the $5 1882S that we have here today, which we call the half eagle, because it's half of a $10 coin, which is a $10 called the eagle. So it's a half eagle. And then we have a quarter eagle, the 2.5 coin that you see there on the right side of your screen. That's a 1904, much later date in MS-63. But just to show you the size, these coins we have here today, the 1882S, it's about the size of a nickel, just for comparison, so you know what you're getting.
Now, here's the most important part, and this is why we're really, really excited about this. Never has there been a better time to buy rare United States gold. There was a great article that came out about a year ago, and it was on the cover, "Is it time for a new perspective on generic gold?" And I'm going to open to that article, and there's this one paragraph I'm going to read to you, and this is really the key here. There has not been a time in recent memory when pre-1933 gold coins were obtainable for so little over spot. What they mean by that is that, I remember, like 20 years ago, a $5 gold piece like this, when gold was maybe $300 or $400 an ounce.
Right.
Today, gold's around $1,900 an ounce. It's about 4 or 5 times more than it was back then.
Right.
This same coin would have been $1,000 to $1,500, even though gold was only $300 or $400 an ounce.
Right.
In other words, you would have been paying roughly 5, 6, 7 times the value of the gold.
But like Rick said, it's about a quarter of an ounce of gold in that coin. So again, with gold at $1,900, I mean, this is
Just about $500 worth of gold.
Yeah, it's about $500 worth of gold. So,
and this is the perfect grade also, folks.
Yeah,
because
it's a
if you
great
went
grade.
up in grade, for example, here's a 1882S in MS66, which is, extremely high grade.
extremely. I believe that's the highest grade known for this coin.
You're talking about a good 5-figure coin in the $18,000 to $20,000 range.
Right.
For a coin in this condition.
And that's actually a great price for a coin like that, where it's, finest known category.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
And again, this is the perfect grade for this because the premium is so low.
Right.
It's really at a historic low. It's just basically twice the gold value,
Yeah.
which we've never seen before in U.S. numismatics. But it's only because of the great European bank.
And these coins, again, are just so little premium. Right now, these are less than $1,000, Rick.
Yeah, $995.
That's it.
Again, we have to repeat this, folks. In the history of PCGS, they've been grading these coins since 1986.
Right.
In their entire history, which goes back over 30 years, they've only graded 1,110 examples.
That's tiny. That's
in
nothing.
MS63.
In all
We
those
have
years.
approximately 400 of those coins that came out of the great European bank hoard.
Right.
Again, these coins should not exist. The only reason they exist is because some individual, while it was still legal to own gold in this country in the early 1930s, shipped some bags of these $5 gold pieces to a bank in Europe for safekeeping.
Right.
They've been residing there for just about 90 years, folks. And they've come out now. We got them at a great price, and we're just passing our good opportunity, our just, fortuitous, being in the right place at the right time, passing that good fortune on to you.
Right.
These stunning, stunning specimens. Again, if you go to the Smithsonian, they have the finest collection of United States coins in the world. The example in the Smithsonian of the 1882S will be an MS64.
Right.
This is just one grade below, and it's only $995 a coin. We've got a lot of people calling in on this. Again, this group we have here, we've got a lot of them on display. We have approximately 400 total. Once these are gone, folks, that's it. That's it. This is the greatest group of these $5 gold pieces ever offered in the history of United States numismatics. And we just have them at such a collector-friendly price.
Rick, you just said something that got me thinking about just how few PCGS is graded in this grade, in
Yeah.
MS63. Since they've been grading coins since 1986, I just did some rough, quick math. That means, on average, they only grade 30 to 35 coins a year.
Right, exactly.
A year.
Yeah.
And it's skewed because of this
Yeah.
hoard we have
Yeah.
right in front of us, literally 2 feet away from me. So really, that number is probably half that. They probably grade on average 20 of these a year at best, and that number is rapidly dwindling
I'm
after
just
this
imagining
hoard.
the reaction at PCGS when they're lucky to see 20 or 30 a year, right?
Right, and then
all of a sudden
right.
they get like 2 bags, and there's about 400 of these coins in MS63 that
Right.
they've never seen, and PCGS has graded literally millions and millions of United States coins.
yeah.
And then never have they seen anything like this before in their history. Jack, here's an example that's sold in auction. In other
Right.
words, this is what a dealer could have purchased this example. And
Right.
same grade MS63 for over $1,700. That's what it's sold for. Now, again, The prices we have these coins at are not based on what the market will bear, folks. This is really important to understand that. I mean, we could ask $1,500, $1,495, $1,395, and you'd be getting a great deal.
Right, absolutely.
But you wouldn't be getting our best price.
Right.
And we got such a great buying opportunity when we bought the entire deal. When you buy the entire deal, you get a special price. I mean, we wouldn't have gotten this price if we would have told, no, we'll only take 50.
Right.
We wouldn't have gotten this price. We bought the entire group, and we got the price where we're able to sell them for only $995, folks. $995 when gold is bumping up at $2,000 an ounce.
Right.
It's an amazing opportunity. And again, these are 1882 S's. Have they seen the S mint mark, Sasha, on the reverse for the San Francisco Mint? Again, struck at the Granite Lady, one of the earliest
Oh, yeah, so much history
vintage
there.
issues from the Granite Lady.
I mean, San Francisco was still only 30 years at this point that it had really been much of a city. It was a little town, and then of course the gold rush, 1849, we all know the story of all these people going west to prospect for gold.
There you see the S mint mark there, right about at 6 o'clock.
So the mint originally first struck gold coins in San Francisco in 1854, but that was obviously a little tiny rinky-dink operation.
It was like 6,000 square feet.
Yeah,
very small mint.
So they had they needed to build something that really, could produce coins. So 1874, the Granite Lady was open.
Jack, look at this coin. It's about 140 years old. All the details so sharp. Folks, there are no 1882 S's without bag marks. They all have bag marks. Again, these coins were struck. They were dumped into bins. One coin is falling on top of another.
Right.
From there, they go through coin counting machines. They're dumped into bags. So they all have marks.
Right, you have to understand, the mint
marks.
The mint is not striking these coins in 1882 for collectors and taking one at a time. They're producing these for commerce.
Exactly.
They're producing these so that people can transact business, and they need to make as many as they can. And it's just to them, it's just a job. It's not about. They don't know that collectors in 140 years are going to be, jumping over each other to find these coins. They're just trying to make them fast and get them in bags and get them out to the banks.
So that's why we want you to take a look at this. We've cherry-picked again these approximately 400 examples among the finest known, with so few surface imperfections. These coins are a miracle, really. Again,
I'm
they
looking at
should
this and
not
just going,
exist.
how is this under $1,000?
Yeah, I know. It really is a miracle, folks. Again, we've never, ever been able to offer a $5 gold piece in this condition, from this early vintage, in this condition. And we have around we started out with about 400. We have a lot of people calling in. They're only $995 a coin. Virtual perfection for 1882S $5 gold piece. It's really a sensational buying opportunity.
It looks like a new coin.
It truly does. It truly does, folks. You will not find something from this early era in the United States gold in this condition for anywhere near this price.
I mean, this is such a unique opportunity. I mean, all my years of collecting coins and dealing in coins, all your years, I mean, this is such a unique hoard. I have never seen a group of...
You worked at Stax for 8 years.
Yeah.
They never had... I mean, they're the oldest auction house, coin auction house in the country.
Right.
They never had anything like this.
I never saw anything remotely close to this. Not even close.
So we're going to wrap it up here, folks. We got a lot of people calling in. Again, we started out with around 400. This is all we have. It's a once-in-a-lifetime, truly Halley's Comet moment. 1882 S's among the finest surviving specimens from the great European gold hoard. The coins that should not exist.
Exactly.
They've been sitting in a vault in Europe since the early 1930s. We bought the entire group of these $5 gold pieces that came out. We have the finest examples for you today. And we're pricing them not on what the market will bear. We could easily price these at $14.95 and you'd be getting a great deal. But you would not be getting the best deal. And that's what this is all about. We got these at such a great price. We're able to offer them while we have them for $995. And like our other gold deals, Jack, that come out of these hoards, once these are gone, that's it. We've had so many people who'll call in a week or two later and they'll ask for one of those coins, and we have to tell them, we're sorry.
Yeah,
We don't
happens all
have
the
them
time.
anymore. We can't
Happens all the
sell
time.
them at that price anymore. This is one of those moments, folks.
Yeah,
we hope
oftentimes
you
it
can
would
take
cost
advantage
us
of
more
it.
to replace the coins after we sell through them.
Exactly.
It happens often.
This has been fantastic. This truly is, we hope you can take advantage of it to get something from 1882, the early Granite Lady vintage year, in
Right.
superb, spectacular, mint state, 63 condition, among the finest known, for only $995 a coin. I'm Rick.
I'm Jack.
We're the Coin Guys. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for joining us here on Rare Collectibles TV.
Hi, I'm Rick Tamaska, and this is Rick's U.S. Coin Show. Rick's U.S. Coin Show is a brand new show that brings you rare, high quality, and unique coins at the most affordable prices on TV.
My name's Jack McNamara, and I love coins.
We're the Tamaska girls, Kim
And Caitlin.
Here at Rare Collectibles TV, we know what kind of coins you want because we're collectors ourselves.
I've been collecting coins for over 40 years.
I love finding coins all across the country and bringing them to you.
Whether you're new to coin collecting or an old pro, we've got the coins you're looking for.
After my first book, dealers began calling me the Cameo King.
Coin rarity and quality are what matter most to me.
Now that's eye appeal.
I do love Franklin's and Kennedy's.
Rare unique coins.
At the most affordable prices.
Coins are in my blood.
Now that's a beauty.
My goal is to bring you the ultimate in superb rare coins. Do you want the best? Welcome to Rick's U.S. Coin Show. This is the perfect time to be a collector, folks. What we have today, this is a historic collection. It's a historic coin. No one in the history of Coin TV has ever had a collection of this date and this quality, ever. I don't care if a show's been on TV for 25 years. They've never had what you're about to see in the next several minutes. It's a series that I've always loved since I was when a kid first started collecting when I was 10 years old. I had all the Whitman books, you know, from the Lincoln Cents through the Walking Liberty half dollars and Franklin half dollars. I had all the Whitman books. And the Lincoln Cent book, this is actually my book, the Lincoln Cent book, folks. There were actually two books. The first book was from 1909 to 1940, and then the second book was from 1941 to the present. And this was my book, and the book from 1941 through the present, I had almost every hole filled, except for the 49S and the 54P. Okay, and it was great for me as a kid growing up because I was able to find these coins going through, you know, my parents' change, my grandparents' change, you know, every week I'd be going through there, or I'd take $1 and go to the bank and buy 2 rolls of Lincoln Cents, right? And the book from 1909 to 1940, on the other hand, was a lot tougher. I had a lot of the dates in the 1930s. You got into the 1920s, there were a lot of holes. Before 1920, I only had a few coins. My pride and joy was a 1923S that I found in change. But boy, if there was one coin that I was always looking for, one coin that would have just been my, if I had ever found that in change, it would have just like been the greatest joy of the year for me. It would have been greater than any Christmas present I could have possibly gotten at Christmas time. You know, because I love this series so much, and I was an avid Lincoln Cent collector, especially the Wheatback Lincolns, but that one coin, it was the first Lincoln Cent ever struck. It was the 1909 with the initials of the sculptor, of the engraver, Victor D. Brenner, VDB, on the reverse of the coin. This coin was the inspiration of Teddy Roosevelt. This is one of the coins that was part of the Renaissance era. And Teddy Roosevelt originally, you know, he thought our coinage at the time, again, this was the early 1900s, he was president, and he thought our coinage at the time was, as he put it in a letter, thought our coinage at that time was of hideous atrociousness. Okay, I mean, he didn't mince words, hideous atrociousness. And so he contracted, came to an agreement with Augustus St. Gaudens, one of the great sculptors of the era, to redesign all of our coins. And, you know, to his credit, I mean, Augustus St. Gaudens had sworn not to have anything more to do with the U.S. Mint. When they took one of his designs from the early 1900s from the Columbian Exposition, and they redesigned the reverse without his consent, which really infuriated him because, you know, he didn't give them the authority to do that, and he swore he'd have nothing ever to do with the United States Mint again. But, you know, he sensed, I think, a soulmate in Teddy Roosevelt, who was a pioneer himself. I mean, Teddy Roosevelt was a man of strong conviction, and he thought, heck, you know, we were a great country. We should have coinage that reflects our greatness. And also, we're a country of opportunity. That's why we are a great country. We're a country of opportunity. And for example, art. Art is one of the great joys in life any of us could possibly experience. But art should not just be enjoyed by the very wealthy in our country. It should be able, you know, it should be enjoyed by everyone. Everyone should have access to great art. And what better way to have access to great art than through our coinage? And so he, you know, Augustus St. Gaudens, you know, saw this light in Roosevelt, and so he agreed to redesign our coinage. And the first coins that received the new designs were the $20 Gold Eagle, which we call the St. Gaudens Double Eagle, first issued in 1907, and the 1907 Indian $10 gold piece. Unfortunately, Augustus St. Gaudens was afflicted with cancer, and he died on August 3rd, 1907, before he was able to address the other coins in circulation. So Roosevelt had to look to other people for our new coin designs. And it just so happened that it was now the year 1908, and Abraham Lincoln's 100th anniversary of his birth was coming up in 1909. And Roosevelt really wanted to put Lincoln's portrait on one of our coins. Now, this would have been a first, folks, because up until then, no portrait of any person had been on a United States coin struck for circulation. No portrait of a president had ever been on any United States coin struck for circulation. So this was kind of, you know, I mean, the Founding Fathers actually didn't want anything like that. They didn't want any president sort of deified, you know, by having their portrait on a United States coin. But Roosevelt, you know, really believed that, you know, what better president to put on a coin as the first United States coin to bear an image than Abraham Lincoln with the centennial birthday coming up in 1909. And so he contracted with Victor D. Brenner, a great sculptor who had actually made a bust of Abraham Lincoln and a plaque that he had designed many years earlier. And this plaque was taken, most people believe this plaque was taken from this portrait of Lincoln. And you can see there. And they decided, you know, what better coin to put this on than the cent? Because when you look at the plaque, I mean, the cent being of copper would eventually tone to a similar color as in the plaque there, if we can go back to that plaque. And they had a good idea of, you know, the appearance of the coin. And so Victor D. Brenner received authorization to design our first coin. And it was first struck in 1909. And folks, the reception among the collecting public was like nothing ever seen before for a United States coin struck for commercial use. There were people, this was back in, remember, this is back in 1909. I mean, there were very, very few collectors out there. There were people standing in line outside of the Treasury to be able to acquire one of these coins. And the demand was such that the distribution had to be limited. And the banks were supplied with these coins, and they were allowed to give out only 2 specimens per customer. The sub-treasury was allowed to give out a maximum of 100 of these coins per customer. When newsboys got a hold of these coins, these Lincoln cents, these new Lincoln cents, they were selling them, newsboys were selling them for as much as 25 cents each. And this is back in 1909, folks. 25 cents was a lot of money. This was historic. This was historic. You know, this new Lincoln cent really struck a chord in the American public. But, alas, there was a controversy. And it's hard to pinpoint exactly how this controversy got started, but the custom had always been that the sculptor of a coin be able to put their letters somewhere on the coin itself. I mean, Augustus St. Gaudens had his, letters on his gold coins. I mean, this custom had gone back to ancient Greece when artists signed their names on the dies for the coins being struck. I mean, on all the United States coins up until then, you had the artist's initials somewhere on the coin, but for some reason, there was a big controversy about Victor D. Brenner's initials being on the coin. Now, the thing is, folks, the initials, you could barely see. They were on the reverse of the Lincoln cent at the very bottom, and this is a blow-up, VDB. There they were. Now, Kim's got an example that has been circulated. All of these coins went into circulation, virtually all of them, folks. Kim, if you could show them one of the circulated examples. I mean, it's so small, it's barely visible. I don't know, hopefully we can get a blow-up of it, but, once the coin tones, it's barely visible. And you can see the initials at the bottom there, Victor D. Brenner. So the mint caved into the pressure, and they erased the initials from the die. Despite Victor D. Brenner's, very analytical, fair-minded letter, a letter he wrote to Farron Zerby, who was president of the American Numismatic Association at the time. When Victor D. Brenner heard about this, he wrote to Farron Zerby. And here's an excerpt from the letter. "It's mighty hard for me to express my sentiments with regard to the initials on the cent. The name of an artist on the coin is essential for the student of history, as it enables him to trace environments and conditions of the time said coin was produced. Much fume has been made about my initials as a means of advertisement. Such is not the case. The very talk of the initials has done more good for numismatics than it could do for me personally. The cent not alone represents in part my art, but represents a type of art of our period." And he went on to write about that, and the Numismatic Association totally agreed with him. And they had a meeting there. They had the A&A meeting in August of that year, and they voted overwhelmingly to send a letter to the Treasury that the initials be, kept on the coin. But this is political correctness. Maybe it was the first hint of political correctness, folks. But the Treasury removed the initials anyway. So as a result, you only had 27,995,000 of these coins issued. And they were only issued for about 10 days. So they were first issued in August for about a 10-12 day period, folks. almost all of them went into circulation. Almost all of them went into circulation. But even these heavily circulated examples, like the one Kim showed you, if you could show them another one of those, Kim. You know, if I could have found one of these in circulation, folks, when I was a kid, I would have just, jumped for joy. I mean, it would have been a dream come true to find a 1909 VDB, the very first coin struck for circulation with the designer's initials on the reverse, with Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, the very first portrait of a president on a United States coin struck for commercial use, and Kim's going to show you the obverse of this 1909. There you see the reverse. Even these are worth a premium, folks. Now the thing is, finding these uncirculated is a big deal. Is a big deal. I was able to recently purchase a couple late-date rolls of Wheatback Lincoln cents. Original rolls. Here's a roll. These are rolls. This is a roll of 58 Ps. Here's a roll I bought of a 57 Ds. You know, brilliant uncirculated 57 Ds. And even these are extremely difficult to come by. These kinds of Lincoln cents. I'm just going to quickly show you these 57 Ds here. And I had like the 58 Ps. I was able to buy 24 rolls of 58 Ps. That was extraordinary. And I submitted 13 or 14 of those rolls, of the finest examples from those rolls, for grading. And out of all of those rolls, it was about 700 coins. We got only 90 examples that graded MS65 red, and a couple dozen examples that graded MS66 red, and that was the highest grade we ever received. Now, those were extraordinary grades. To get them not just in 6.5 and 6.6, but in red condition, because that's the key to these Lincoln cents. They're struck in copper. It's the most reactive of all the elements. You get a Lincoln cent that's exposed to oxygen for a length of time, and it turns from red to red-brown to brown. And Kim is going to show you two Lincoln cents. I happen to have two 1946S Lincoln cents, both in MS66. But one is red-brown and one is red. And again, the red means you've got a Lincoln cent that still retains its original luster, its original color, as it came from the mint, with that beautiful red copper color. If you could do, we're going to need a close hand shot of each of these, and you can see the red, how you have that beautiful original copper color. This is where they're extremely rare and most valuable, to not just get them in high grade uncirculated, folks, but to get them with the original color. They have to be stored in the most pristine conditions. Here's an example that's red-brown. If you could show the grade at the top there, you could see that. RB stands for red-brown. And if it gets darker, it goes from RB to BN, meaning brown. And you could see the difference. Red is where these coins get extremely rare. I was talking to Rick Montgomery. He's one of the heads of NGC, past president of PCGS. He's been a finalizer, a head grader at both grading services, one of the most knowledgeable collectors, numismatists in the country. And what we have today, folks, again, as I said, this is a first. We have over 200 1909 VDB Lincoln cents, the first Lincoln cent ever struck. We have them in MS65 red and MS66 red, which is extraordinary in either grade. We have over 200 of them. This is the most historic collection of this most historic coin of the 20th century that nobody ever in the history of Coin TV has been able to offer. And indeed, when I talked to Rick Montgomery, he said he hasn't seen a group of 1909 VDBs like this since the early days of PCGS and NGC, when back then, you know, most of the coins hadn't been graded yet. People were submitting coins by the millions back in the early days of PCGS and NGC. Now most of the really spectacular coins have been graded. You know, now almost 30 years later. And to have something like this come out, we have them in both grades. I'd like you to take a look on the second row. We have them in MS 65 red. Not red brown, red. And folks, we have these. This is such a perfect time to be a collector, because to get something this rare and this beautiful, this historic, it truly is a must-buy. This is one of the coins that if you're a collector that wants to build a top collection, you really have to have, I usually don't say this, but you really do have to have a 1909 VDB, the first Lincoln cent ever struck, issued for only a very short period, discontinued in a very short time after only 27 million were struck because of, you know, some, you know, I mean, it was kind of a goofy upset, because again, it had been tradition to have the artist's initials on a coin, maybe because it had Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the coin. And this is the first time you had a president on a United States coin. Look at the color on these. It's absolutely extraordinary. Kim, if we can give them a hand shot of one of the MS-65s and one of the MS-66s for the viewers, folks. Here you got a coin that's well over 100 years old. And it looks like it just came off the die. Which grade is that one?
MS-65?
That's an MS-65 red. It looks like it just came off the die. Think of how few of these have survived in this condition. Let me tell you how few. PCGS and NGC combined, out of 28 million of these originally struck, in all grades of red condition. And there you can see, if you can show them the grade real quickly, Kim, and then we'll show them an MS-66. In all grades of red condition, MS-60 and higher, they've only graded 21,000 coins. In all grades, MS-60 and higher. That's about 1 in every 1,300 coins struck to survive in red. Not MS-65 red, just any grade of red. It could MS-64, MS-63, MS-61, MS-60. All grades, 21,000 coins. And a handful of those are graded in MS-65 red and MS-66. Now take a look at the finest examples from this historic collection. MS-66 red, folks. MS-66 red. You know, it defies, this is where I am in wonderment as a collector. How a copper coin, you know, copper can't be conserved or dipped, you know, a copper coin like this, like a silver coin, where you can send it to a conservation service, and if it's toned, the PCGS and NGC both have conservation services where they can conserve silver coins or gold coins and remove toning, etc. They can't do that with copper. You know, once it turns red-brown, that's it. So this is what makes them especially rare. They, you know, the way you find them is the way they are. How a coin struck in 1909, well over 100 years old, struck in copper, can be so pristine. I mean, once that newsboy put his fingers on it, folks, there'd be a toned fingerprint on the coin. These are so, you know, once anybody touches that coin with their finger, the oil from the finger, which will not immediately show up over a couple of years' time, after a couple of years' time, you'll see a fingerprint toning spot on the coin. This is how sensitive they are to any kind of mishandling. So how a coin like this, if we can get back to the obverse once more, because I love the portrait of Lincoln on this coin. You see the VDB there at the bottom, to survive. And how we're able to offer them at this price, folks. I'm going to price, first, take a look at these. You know, you look around for VDBs. Here's one in MS-64, red-brown. MS-64 red-brown, okay? Not red, Red Brown, and MS64. MS64 Red Brown, a top-rated seller. And that is a really fair price, $245, a top-rated seller for MS64, not red, Red Brown. Here's another one in Red Brown, and you can tell the Red Brown, it's ungraded. Maybe it's an MS65, maybe it's an MS65. But it's ungraded, and you can tell it's Red Brown. You can see the toning there. Okay, $495, ungraded. Here's another one ungraded. Now this looks gem, top-rated seller, gem, and it looks red. Gem quality. $699.90, $700. Again, a top-rated seller. Over almost 6,000 happy customers. You get to graded specimens, folks. Here's one of the nicest ones. There's one for $1,200. Here's one for almost $2,000 that's sold in auction for almost $2,000, $1,955. Here's one that's sold in auction for almost $1,800. $1,800. So there's your reference point. Take a look at these, folks. Here's what we have. We've got, again, people asking $250 for MS64s in Red Brown. And ungraded MS65s they want $700 for. We live in such a great time to be a collector. This is such a great time to be a collector. Okay? This is the most phenomenal collection of 1909 VDBs I've ever handled, I've ever seen in my lifetime, I ever will see. We have over 200 examples in gem condition in red. As you see here, folks,